They don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still to the stars with the show, and till then it's half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof I'm a lie about a molding. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like another city, the driver's side floor. Just like a large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. 8, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever, and cute as can be. You can watch it on YouTube with view for free. Ay. This one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time wondering what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
All right, if you insist, Tommy. Good morning, everybody, and welcome on in. It is Tobin and Leroy here with you.
I can't promise you nothing.
Can't promise you nothing, Tommy. I'll try. You're a legend. You're a legend if you say so. Take you up till 2 o'clock here today. It is a game night. We are about to start
well,
of high stakes.
Let's be clear. It's a game night for two of us.
I'm sorry, Vlad. I didn't see that straight coming at you. Still going at you, man. We are about to start, Leroy, a run of high-stakes games here, night in and night out for the foreseeable future. This is amazing. I am so excited. Dude. Eastern Conference Finals galore, dude.
Can I just say, I watched that game last night, and if I'm the Lakers, I am terrified. Because you ain't going to do much better than you. You ain't going to play much better than you played, and it wasn't even close.
Well, they made it a game at the end. They put a scare in them. LeBron had that 3, so I give him credit because it looked like it was over going to the 4th. Yeah. So, but I'm with you. I don't know how much better offensively they could play.
Think about this: you had an excellent game shooting the 3, which is not your forte, and they scored 15 or 21 more points than you shooting the 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to look at what the final 3 numbers were. But, yeah, I know Reeves got really hot, especially in that 4th quarter.
I mean, but
LeBron, not so much because he's building a brick house from downtown this playoffs. He can't shoot a lick. But it still scared you. I mean, he had a good look there at the end. And then they had like that loose ball, which ended up going for an alley-oop to old crybaby Aaron Gordon, who's still salty about the dunk contest. But, yeah, man, they ended up holding them off, even with that Lakers push there in the 4th quarter. Really fun game. Jokic, that guy's good.
What do you have, 40, 20, and 14?
He had 34, 21, and 14 last night. The big men, he had that. AD had 40 and 10 with 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks.
And guess what? and let's be honest. Would you rather him have had 35 points and 5 more rebounds?
Here's
like they got destroyed they got destroyed in the rebounds.
Rebounding yesterday, they did get crushed. They got crushed 47-30, but I mean it's and that's the thing, like both teams shot really well too. But it was, the second chance points, the offensive rebounds for the Nuggets were huge last night. They look, like you're the Lakers, it's not, I wouldn't feel awful on the Lakers. Like they did show some guts. It is game 1 on the road. But I mean, man, yeah, they had a really good offensive performance. They had some really good showings. And I do feel like Jokic, they did kind of slow him down there in that 4th quarter because he ended the 3rd quarter. Did you see that heave that he had over AD? I was like, whoa. And AD was like even giving him the look like, Jesus, man, this guy he can't be stopped. He cannot be stopped right now. So, and then shout out to Bruce Brown. Canes, that guy was awesome yesterday.
They had 2 Canes playing against each other.
Lonnie Walker and Bruce Brown. This is Jim Larinaga. This guy's good.
Did they play together? I think Bruce Brown is a little bit earlier.
I think they might have maybe crossed over for a year, but I think Bruce Brown is a little bit older. I feel like he might have been gone. But it's but yeah, they both were they both are showing out.
Lonnie Walker, amazing. When you think of Miami, you're not thinking of a whole bunch of guys playing in conference finals, right?
Yep.
In fact, all of the guys that got drafted high that everybody thought was good isn't playing anymore. Who was it? Larkin? Yeah. Larkin win the first round?
Shane Larkin. Yeah, who did he go to? Did he go to the Nets back in the day?
I don't know.
We'll always have that Duke game though. Oh, Shane Larkin. Oh, yeah. And he
was that was the team with the floor slappers?
Yep. Dude, Dick Vitale got very offended by that. Very offended. So that was your Western Conference Finals game 1, 132-126. The Denver Nuggets lead that series. Tonight, of course, we have Miami Heat basketball, the Heat and Celtics game 1. As we give you some headlines here, brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks. This is my business truck. Truck.
Little programming note. I saw this on Solana's Instagram. Pre-heat tonight starts even earlier. 7 o'clock pre-heat tonight. So it's an 8:30 start, but you're going to get a 90-minute pregame from Solana tonight. So keep that in mind if you guys are driving around tonight. You want a little Heat coverage. Pre-heat starts at 7 o'clock tonight. WQAM for all of your Eastern Conference Finals coverage. Heat, Celtics from TD Garden tonight. Jason Jackson, Amy Audibert with the call. Of course, Tommy Tighe on the pregame as well. So I'm looking forward to it, man. This is going to be a fun one. Yesterday, you had the NBA draft lottery. San Antonio Spurs won.
I mean, think about this. We can go back through the history of drafts.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever there's a guy like this come out, why do they always seem to get him? Them or the Cavs?
Yeah. Well, the Cavs got a lot of number 1 picks. But this is certainly, you get it seems a little bit too perfect. You get the international big man goes to San Antonio, Greg Popovich. Look, good for Wembanyama. He's going to a great organization. I mean, you want to talk about if with luck not only shine down the Lakers, but on the Spurs, but good for him. He gets to go to a place in San Antonio that,
right.
I mean, not many better places you could go as far as development. I was a little bit nervous though, because when I saw that the Blazers were moving into that, I was like, oh man, this could ruin Damian Lillard's summer. Damapalooza.
Wait, or ruin your summer.
No. Task at hand.
Stop. You have never. Now all of a sudden you find a new phrase, but anytime there's some rumors or make a stink. Dame, make a stink.
He has been making a stink lately on Twitter. He's been very feisty on Twitter lately. I like it.
Well, I mean, come on, man. You know what sucks? When an athlete is loyal and the organization takes that for granted, right? Like, I think some of the worst things that athletes do is say this phrase, even though well intent, I'm going to play here forever. Because what the organization does is they just move on. They say, oh, he's going to be here, so we can just do what we want to do. And they don't even try to, accommodate this dude who has made the commitment to your organization forever. Right? That's one, you know what? Kudos to LeBron. LeBron ain't never promised nothing. Right? I mean, he always signed a contract. He played his contract out, but he never made any kind of commitments like that. So whoever he played for always had to be on point as far as weapons or players around him, because they always had that fear in the back of their mind. Oh, he's on a 1-and-1.
Only like I would say his Cleveland stints. Like in Miami, they did give him everything that he wanted, and that's why I feel like they felt so blindsided by it.
Right, I got you. I can understand that.
But
I can't even argue.
But Cleveland for sure, especially that second Cleveland stint. I mean, he put old Dan Gilbert in the vice grip for that second run. Yeah, no matter whatever he wanted. So you have that, and then yesterday Marlins, they beat the Nationals 5-4. Jorge Soler walk-off shot. So there you go.
The old walk-off.
Big old monster shot for Jorge Soler yesterday. That series
in front of what? 7,000?
I mean, yeah. But you know what?
Vlad said that's stretching it.
Maybe. But either way, still got the fish back to 500. So look to take out the National stinks. So like maybe the Marlins can get fat here, get that record nice and padded.
You think this is a 90 win, 85, 90 win team?
I think 90 might be a little strong, especially we just learned Jazz went down with turf toe yesterday, so he's going to be out.
Can I just tell you, don't sleep on turf toe. Turf toe has ended a bunch of careers.
I slept on turf toe when they announced it, and then Skip Schumacher came out immediately. It was like 4 to 6 weeks. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's almost it could be broken, right? It could be a broken toe. But it just seems like big, and I know what people thinking. It ain't a hammy, it ain't a knee, it's just a toe. But I'm going to tell you, nothing in your lower half of your body works well with a bad toe. And I know it sounds crazy, but I have never been more uncomfortable playing football than after I broke my toe.
I think even OJ McDuffie tweeted about it yesterday. He was like giving Jazz well wishes because he is, of course, an infamous.
Well, he had a different injury. He had to have surgery, and there's 2 guys that had that surgery. Dion had the same surgery, and basically what they do is, you see, I'm gonna show you for my thumb. See how your thumb moves up top right here?
Sure.
Right? They fuse it so it can't move. So now you have a plank. So imagine how fast Dion was, that he could still get that surgery, have his toe fused, and still play a few more years with Baltimore. Now, he had to move to safety, but he was still able to play. Whereas OJ, because of the nature of what his profession was at wide receiver, it was more difficult. So it is serious. You talking about planning, turning, run, anything that has to do with movement, it hurts like hell. We used to have to cut holes in our shoes and put a pad over the toe because the swelling took forever to go down. Yeah, it's not. I know what people think, and I was like that too. Man, it's just a toe. Get out there. Until I got one. And I'm like, don't touch me. Stay away from me. Don't even come close to it. Right? Or it's like, see, you don't know about this. Vlad, I'm going to get you sucker. With Jim Brown, he wanted to
when
fight
he got shot in the big toe?
Yeah, he wanted to fight everybody on the set because his toe was throbbing. Yeah.
Corns, man. Bunions.
Yeah, it ain't no joke.
Well, we wish Jazz a speedy recovery, hopefully, because this is 2 years.
Look,
2 years in a row, he's had a rough injury.
You ready for this? I bet you it'll be a month before you even see him in a shoot. Damn. That's how bad that is.
That's your headlines. We'll take a quick break. Be back more after this.
WQA.
a.m. Streaming live on the Odyssey app. AUDACY. Follow us there, 560 WQAM. And on the Tobin and Leroy show, you can just follow our show directly. We're giving you a chance to win a photo op with Tua and an autograph, courtesy of Hollywood Collectibles. For your chance to win, text the word football to 20357. That's football to 20357. And you guys could win that meet and greet. If you don't, you still can meet Tua at Hollywood Collectibles on Sterling Road in Dania Beach this Saturday beginning at noon. There will be photo ops and autographs. Tickets are on sale now at HollywoodCollectibles.com. So check that on out and get ready for Tua. Somebody said, when was the last time the Miami Heat had a top 5 pick? 2003? No, 2008. They had it for Michael F. and Beasley.
Who you still love?
I do like Michael. I do. I have a special place in my heart for Michael Beasley. I do. I always will.
Like, if you had to think, I can't even remember what his voice sounds like.
I can.
I know.
I can. But, let's say it's obviously he turned out to be a bust for a number 2 pick, but
he had some talent, man.
Had some talent. He was a bucket getter. And, I can't really call him a Miami Heat bust because, they had him for 2 years, and then they just traded him for cap space to get Mike Miller. They didn't really see his Heat career to fruition, You know
what I would say? That he would have been better off in today's NBA because if you can get buckets, they'll ignore the fact that you play zero defense.
Not only that, it was the position listing. He was just kind of one of those guys where he didn't have a position coming in. They're like, is he a 4? Is he a 3? Well, he can't defend threes, but he's not big enough for 4. Today's day and age, I feel like Michael Beasley would have just been a killer.
On the court. The court scoring buckets.
Yeah. I mean, he still played a while. What did Michael Beasley have? A 9-year career before he went? In between there becoming the MVP of China, of course. Well, but I do. I love Michael Beasley. I can't help it.
In China, they don't discriminate. Here's what they say. Americans, come over here and get us buckets. And Beasley's like, if you want buckets, I'm your guy. Now, I don't play no defense, but I'll get you some buckets.
It's also one of those guys, super young coming in there. Probably would got Spo off on playing young guys was Michael Beasley.
11 seasons.
Yeah, 11 seasons. He had a career. Dude, everybody was always Michael Beasley, guy was just a scoring machine. Had 3 stints with the Heat.
I mean, even now, there's stretches during the game where Spo would have kicked the tires on Michael Beasley, especially this season.
Well, it's the funny thing with him. It's that's the only time the Heat really have tanked in recent history either. Riley was going off and he was scouting because, of course, that was the Derrick Rose. Beasley was going to be the quintessential number 1 pick. And then, Derrick Rose did what he did in March Madness. And that kind of vaulted Derrick Rose, but it didn't matter. Bulls got number 1 pick. But the thing that's tough about that draft is you look and you got Russell Westbrook went right after him. Kevin Love went right after him. So he, out of those guys, definitely had the worst career out of those guys.
Derrick Rose is with the Knicks, right?
He is with the Knicks, but he's just, he
don't play.
No, he came out in his pajamas on the bench. He's not.
You know what I saw last night? I had to do a double take.
Who?
Was that DeAndre Jordan?
Yes, it was DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
Remember they had to call SWAT to go get him out the house. That's how much people wanted him. And now he's a DAP guy.
Yeah, he's a DAP guy. I think his ending was with Philadelphia last year because anytime Doc Rivers loved playing DeAndre Jordan, and he was playing him against the Heat a ton because Joel was hurt the first couple of games. Shocking. And I mean, they were just lighting him up, and he was terrible. But Doc wouldn't stop playing him. But yeah, man. That Michael Beasley, that had to have soured because you think about it, you have Spo as a rookie head coach, and he's got this kid, but he's also got. It's a lot like if they would have had if Wembanyama would have went to Portland because it's you have even though Dame's even older than Dwayne was at that point, but you have Dwayne Wade at the peak of his powers, one of the best players in the league, and then you have Michael Beasley who's just trying to find his way. And Chalmers, of course.
I mean,
Chalmers, he played.
Beasley almost seemed like he was on a spirit quest. like
Yes.
searching for himself. Like he just not, and I don't want to say he didn't want to play or didn't, but you know, some guys, just the way they go about things makes it seem like they don't care.
The team I felt bad for yesterday, I think, was the Pistons, because like they get knocked out of the top 4 completely. And then so it was Portland who jumped up with Charlotte, Houston, who had Ime Udoka on the stand. On the
Was that the first time,
first
other
time we've
than
seen
the
him?
press conference, that he's been on national
I
television?
think so.
Yes.
I think so.
Houston strip clubs gotta watch out.
Yeah,
boy.
they got to be careful, dude.
Hey, he got more important things at home to be dealing with.
And that's over with him. And
Is it over?
Yeah, it's been over.
Really?
Yeah, it's been over.
Not surprising.
Come on,
Yeah,
man. A
I'm
woman's
not-
gonna want to be publicly humiliated and stay with the guy.
I thought that she was sticking with, because I thought I saw her come out with some quotes about like she didn't like how the.
Oh no, that's what you say before you get the papers.
Right, but then right, and
Hey,
then
you can play cool. You don't act a fool right away.
yeah,
you
because you still
play
gotta.
coy. You
They have a
play
child
cool.
together, so they gotta work out that that part
Right.
of their relationship. But she's
Come on.
because Stephen A. has supported her and how her name was
brave.
publicly
It's very brave of Stephen A.
very brave, very brave,
of Stephen A. For
being that shoulder to cry on.
I need
Very,
if you listen, if Nia Long needs anybody, you call
Hey.
Stephen A. Smith.
Neil Long, I still picture her running down the sidewalk on Friday.
Who's on the phone here? Is this Chapo?
Chapo.
What's up, Chapo?
Hey, fellas, how we doing?
Good,
How
buddy.
we doing?
We're doing great. We're doing great. I just call real quick. You know what I'm saying? I got to put that energy out there real fast for tonight's game. Vlad, I know you on board with us because you hate Boston. Appreciate you. You know
That
what
is
I mean?
a unifier.
Yes.
Yeah. We need that.
Chapo,
We need
where
that.
you watching
know
the
what I mean?
game? What's the setup
I'm
for
at the
tonight?
crib tonight. I'm at the crib tonight. I'm gonna be watching the Heat on a 65-inch. I'm just hanging out, little vitamins. You know what I mean? Cool.
We got
Got one of those
some
IVs
wings.
like Jimmy Butler.
We got some
exactly.
wings. What we got going on?
Oh yeah. We got hot honey wings tonight. Hot honey wings, extra crispy waffle fries. Yeah, try it. I don't want to get into a food talk with Leroy this early in the morning. Please, it's gonna stress me out. Okay. But look, hey, real quick. I'm trying to win this Tua thing for this guy Omar in the chat. He needs to meet Tua and take a photo. He's one of those weird haters. But anyways, look, I got to give you guys some quick goosies, and then I'm out of here. Did you happen to see what Timmy, a.k.a. Hardaway Sr., said about Jimmy this morning?
On the Craig Carton show, I did not. What did he say?
He was basically the only one standing on business for us. Everybody else, Celtics are going to sweep them. Carton had a broom out, literally, saying the Boston Celtics are going to sweep the Heat.
Good. I'm
Yep,
glad.
and
I
then
want
Timmy-
Craig Carton to pick against us, because the guy also said the Knicks are going to sweep us.
Exactly. But whenever you guys get a moment, have somebody pull Timmy up. You'll enjoy it. Tobin, trust me.
I will.
Goosies
I will.
galore.
I will
Let's go.
try and get that, Chapo. Thank you for the insight on that. But yeah,
No
Timmy's
No problem, brothers.
Timmy.
Talk to
It
you
was funny.
soon. Peace.
Timmy had a job with the Knicks. I read this article with Ira Winderman, and I think it was like a scout or something like that. But he's also kind of become the go-to NBA guy for Craig Carton show on Fox Sports 1. And he's just like, yeah, I just quit my job because I couldn't give my opinions. So he just left the job for the TV gig. And yeah, he's of course been riding for the Heat the entire time, which is a beautiful thing from Tim Hardaway.
So we need to discuss this. Honey Heat.
Honey Heat wings.
Sweet Heat is terrible. Go either hot
Tread lightly.
or sweet.
Tread
I'm
lightly.
just telling you.
I like a little mix.
No, like it messes with it confuses my taste buds. Right?
I think your taste buds.
I'm either savory or spicy. Right? But I can't no.
Take a quick break. We'll get to 15 minutes of Heat. Malcolm Brogdon had a thing to say at practice yesterday for the Celtics.
We talking trash?
Talking a little trash. Talking a little trash from Malcolm Brogdon. And I got to say for him, I got to tread lightly. Get to that next. back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 15 minutes of heat for you here on 560 WQAM. Hey, it's May. We decided to continue Dave and Buster's month. We got your chance for a $250 gift card from Dave and Buster's to watch the NBA and NHL playoffs. Plus, you got games and stuff. You know, it's fun. I like playing the giant tic-tac-toe when I'm there, or giant Mario Kart. Also fun.
You know what? I think this is one of those games where it's a house game.
Tic-tac-toe?
No.
Oh.
The basketball game.
Oh, house money game for the Heat. Wow, you're not a house money guy.
No, I'm saying a house game as far as I need to be at home so I can get, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I don't
misunderstood.
I don't necessarily, there's certain games that I watch that I need to be paying attention. I want to see everything. And you go to a bar sometimes, you don't get that, and everybody don't watch games like I do. So, a lot of people think it's more interesting and more fun to go to a place like that and watch the game and do some other things while the game's in the background.
I think it's a fun place. They got the big screens. I think it's a cool place to gather as friends.
I've been there for a Dolphins game, and let me tell you, it's like life-size action figures on that TV.
Well, go to WQM.com, enter on the contest page. If you win, you can go to Dave & Buster's with your gift card and have a party all on us and Dave & Buster's. Eat, drink, play, watch sports at Dave & Buster's in Hollywood. I'll get to this loudmouth Malcolm Brogdon here in a second. But first, Leroy, can we get a weather update?
We sure can.
Desmond and Dover Law Firm. YourAccidentAttorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE.
It's been warm the last few days. Partly cloudy. Winds are out of the west, northwest at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. And I would say right now it is about 82, 83 degrees. But it's that time of year, May, June, where every evening you might get a passing shower. So if you got anything to do outside, go ahead on and get it earlier in the day or late in the evening, because you usually get that rain 4 or 5 o'clock during drive time.
Right. So yesterday, he practiced. Jimmy Bucket spoke. We'll get to some Jimmy Buckets here in a second. But I saw some quotes coming out of Celtics practice yesterday.
Of course you did.
Well, listen, just happening to be on my timeline. And so I'm like, I see this quote from Malcolm Brogdon. And I'm looking at him like, that has to be a lot. I mean, that has to be like out of context or something, right? That has to be one of those quotes where it's like, oh, it reads worse than it sounds. So I tortured myself, and I actually went to one of these Boston YouTube pages, and I found the Boston media sessions from yesterday. And Malcolm Brogdon gave his assessment of the Heat and this series. And I took great offense to what Malcolm Brogdon had to say.
Let us hear it, and then we'll agree with you or not, because you tend to get sensitive for all the wrong.
I don't
things.
appreciate that. I'm not sensitive. I'm not sensitive at all.
You are.
But
what?
Nope, I'm not sensitive. But this
you
is
started the conversation off about what somebody said. That's the epitome of sensitive.
Malcolm Brogdon in his first big game of his career. He's got things to say.
Okay, let's hear it.
Here's Malcolm Brogdon.
They're physical, they're versatile. They shoot the ball at a high level, and they got a superstar in Jimmy that's playing like one of the best players in the world. So on top of that, they have a great coach and staff. So they're a well-rounded group that out-toughs most teams they play. But that's not going to happen with us.
Whoa! Hey, whoa! Hold on. So I was getting ready to get on you. I was getting ready to say, oh no, he's saying nothing but nice things. Then he threw the little cherry on the top.
Yup.
But here's the deal.
What?
Can I just say this? Tough on a video screen is different than tough in person.
That's right.
Okay? Because, we see this all the time in the fight game. You thinking, oh, that guy hitting, he ain't hurt nobody.
Right.
But if you got hit with that 2-piece, you'd be night-night. Right.
Well, that's the thing.
And
that's
so I would be real careful.
I would tread lightly if I was Malcolm Brogdon.
Especially when the strength of this team has been the second unit.
If I was Eric Spoelstra, and I know he's not a big bulletin board material guy, but not that. You're not gonna allow Malcolm Brogdon, finesse point guard, shooting all over the place, is gonna talk about toughness in a series. Which, by the way, you guys let the Hawks get 2 on you. The Hawks, dude. Okay, and then you got pushed to the brink by the Sixers, who are as mentally soft as it gets. So it's real easy to sit here from your little cute little practice there, Malcolm Brogdon, and you're going to say, well, that's not going to happen to us. Well, let me tell you something, dude. You guys are like minus 500 favorites. Don't lose. Don't you say all of this stuff. Oh, they're not going to out-tough us. They're not going to out-hustle us. Don't you lose then, dude, because you're talking a big game. Because if there's one thing, statistically, loose balls, charges taken, rebounds, screen, all of the hustle stuff, Miami's leading in all of it. In fact, they took on the all-intangibles team this last series and out-intangibled them. So,
I had to think about that for a second. I'm starting to think who's playing. I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah.
Well, so big game from Malcolm Brogdon. And here's the other thing. He had a bit of a Goran Dragic moment yesterday. Little too honest. So he also revealed yesterday that they weren't really locked in at practice yesterday and that they had to be honed in. And I was like, that's kind of a weird thing to reveal. So this team that's going to out-tough Miami, they're not going to be out-toughed, needed to be locked in at practice. And this was some more Malcolm Brogdon yesterday. I was like, that's a little bit of a little bit too honest from Malcolm Brogdon.
It's a maturity thing. I think the guy we followed all season, our leader, is Al Horford. And I think he's going to continue to lead us. There's a point today in practice where, guys were, it was a little light. Practice was light, and guys were a little loose. And Al brought us together in the middle of practice and just told us to tighten it up. And I think it's those constant reminders from our leader that's going to help us stay poised, start the series poised, and really locked in.
I mean, like, all right, so you guys aren't focused. I need Al Horford to lock you in. And here's the other thing that I found strange about.
I'm going to stop you from this for this reason.
Why?
Because if that was UD, you would be in here acting a damn fool. So don't act like everybody has one of those guys. UD is a guy with weight.
Well, here's the thing.
Wait. When UD,
I'll tell you what.
When UD sees things not going right, now I say the only difference between that and what he's talking about is ain't nobody gonna talk about that crap.
Well, that's first of all, yeah, you keep that in house. Right, we were having a loose practice.
You Second talk about that like months later and say, yeah, what was the turning point? Man, we had a bad practice and UD called us in and we had to get our act together.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. They don't need UD to do that on this team. In fact, Spo was talking about this yesterday where he's like, guys just wanted the game plan. Like, let's get to it. We're ready. Like, they've been chomping at the bit now for days to get this series started. Yeah. They already have, as they say, on the task at hand, what they want to lead. And the other thing is, they don't need they don't need Udonis Haslem to do that because they got Jimmy Butler. And no one's more locked in than Jimmy Butler. And so the fact that I'm hearing they're a little loosey-goosey, willy-nilly, very much sounds like how they've been playing in this postseason, by the way. Oh, we're on, we're off, we're on. Look, they're very talented. Don't get me wrong. But that little bit of an arrogance, that lack of focus, just made me kind of perk up a little bit. Because here was Jimmy Butler, and this was him talking about afterwards the teammates and how they're feeding off his confidence right now, which is quite sky high. Jimmy?
I think so, yeah. They hear the way that I talk. They hear the way that I go about everything. I back down from no challenge, so therefore we back down from no challenge. We take everything a day at a time. I speak for all of us when I say we're so grateful to be able to do what we do every single day and be around the guys and the coaches in the organization, the ownership that we do have. So we're comfortable, we're confident, but we realize it's not going to be easy. We will say that. But confident, I don't think that's the thing that any of us lack.
Goosies.
It don't take
Goosies.
dude.
No. Don't say
Can I
that.
just say something? You know what?
Hmm?
I'm gonna just call it for what it is.
What?
You are a Goosey's lady of the night.
Dude, do not call me a Goosey's floozy.
Wow.
Don't call me a Goosey's floozy. I don't like that.
It don't take
It's
much.
not true.
Hey, you throw Goosey's out there.
No, dude, that's
everything.
Goosey's right.
Yo,
No, because it's just like Malcolm Brogdon. What have you done? And you're gonna sit here. You've been sitting in Pacerland for the last, whoever knows how long, and you're gonna sit here and say, "Oh, they're not gonna out physical us." Dude, what are you talking about?
Hey.
You have the audacity to come here with your chest out in this series where you nearly got taken out by the fattest bum of them all. Get out of here.
Hey, you know what? That's one of those situations that you just sit back and let the talking. Yeah. You go ahead. Let's say, all right, you know what you do? Here's what you do. Here's what they're doing in the Heat locker room. Duly noted. That's it. And then you go bring him that work.
That's not gonna happen to us.
Then you go bring him the business.
Tell him it sounds good. Sounds
Yeah.
good. What Malcolm Brogdon saying sounds good. Now prove it to me. That's all.
Right. Right. You know what? It's like everybody have a game plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah, let's see you go out there, dude.
When you actually playing against that intensity versus seeing that intensity on film, it has a different feel to it. And I'm telling you, that's firsthand. You see guys, you look, I give you a perfect example. If a team watch film of Randy Moss and see his turnover, he doesn't look that fast. But when you running next to him and he got that turnover, but he taking a yard, every step he takes is a yard longer than yours, and you realize you can't keep up, that's a different story. You don't get the full picture of that. Tough is hard to visualize. You got to compete against tough. And for him to just make the assumption that ain't going to happen to us, that's what Milwaukee said.
Yep.
That's what the Knicks said.
Yep.
Right? We got to match their intensity. They couldn't. So you're not going to just come in here and run your mouth and bump your gums like it's no small feat to match the intensity of the Miami Heat. That's a fact. Because nobody's done it so far.
I'm excited for this one, man. That one got me fired up. I was like, listen, I was already ready for this one. Yeah, I didn't like that. I'm like, who are you? Who are you to talk about desire, Malcolm Brogdon?
Can I just say something?
Johnny come lately.
I'm gonna give you an analogy.
Hmm?
You know why you laugh at a comedy club? Not because you hear something funny, but because your mindset going into it is to laugh. So you looking for a reason to laugh.
I wasn't looking for it. In fact,
you are looking for a reason.
I wasn't looking for it. In fact,
come in here salty.
It got thrown
you
on my
all the time.
No, Tobin, I got him.
It got thrown on my no. I got thrown on my Twitter front porch yesterday, and I was like, huh.
No, it wasn't thrown on your Twitter front porch.
It did.
You said it yourself. You were listening to the Boston media.
But that was after I saw the quote. I was like, man, there's no way he said this, and it sounds like as bad as it reads. And it was worse.
And literally, it's a 22-second cut. And you only the thing that stung you the most was
the last half second.
Yes,
the last half second, Leroy. Thank you,
because he was being a phony.
No, he wasn't being a phony.
He
was being honest. But he feels, he's just giving you what he feels. He feels that Miami won't be able to out physical them.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, listen, good. And they needed a rah speech from Al Horford to get them locked in for an Eastern Conference Finals.
He's the vet. He's the vet.
You know who does it? You know who should get you locked in? Jason Tatum should get you locked in.
I think 51 points get you locked in.
Okay, dude. Hey, good for him. How about you score 56?
Toes.
What?
Here's the deal, right? You can say whatever you want all the way up until 8:30 tonight. Then you got to play.
Probably more like 8:45. The way these things are going lately.
Dude, this drives me crazy. I get all my stuff ready, got my drinks in my cooler. I go out to my jacuzzi, turn it on. Boom. 8:35, we still watching people talking.
Leroy, you're a former athlete. Your kickoff never started at 1 p.m.
It started at
104.
104. Okay.
Yeah. But wait, but every NFL game started at the same time.
Usually,
And the only reason why that changed is this reason, Vlad. Because we never used to do the national anthem with us on the field. And then when that changed, they do the national anthem during the broadcast. And so that's the 3 minutes.
Take a quick break. Hour 2 coming up next.
with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of
Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Vlad with us here today, running the board. J-Fig with Scooby somewhere.
I screwed my phone up.
What happened? You like a mess up an update or something?
No. How do I get to I left the conversation because of too many damn texts. And now I can't get back.
That's enough. Texter writes in, shows you Heat are homers, don't watch basketball. You say Brogdon hasn't done anything since the Pacers, but literally just won 6th man of the year. No, look, great regular season award, dude. Like, so did Tyler Hero, and he stuck up the joint last year in the playoffs. He has not done anything to talk about intensity in the playoffs or desire in the playoffs. He's a nice player, but like, be real about it. You're talking about, oh, they're not going to outdo this. They're not going to. Who are you? What have you done? So you, Sully and Murph, who have your busy chowder fingers on your phone right now, lick off the chowder, okay, before you start texting me again, and do some research. Because the last time I believe Malcolm Brogdon faced the Heat in the playoffs, he got swept. So, they say he's going to be this X factor. We'll see. We'll see. A lot of talking, a lot of chatter, a lot of talking from Malcolm Brogdon.
That's all they can do right now. That's all anybody can do.
Oh, apparently it wasn't practicing intensely enough. Al Horford's got to call everybody in. Get your guys together, Joe Mazzulla. He's ready to go. Excited.
You speaking on behalf of... So he can't speak on behalf of his team, but you could speak on behalf of the Heat?
No, he is speaking on behalf of the Heat because he's saying they're not going to outdo us.
He's speaking about his team.
You're covering too many, just keep it to yourself. He could have kept the compliment going. All he had to say was, and they try and outwork everybody, but he had to throw that little paprika on there.
You got to feel that way, though.
Little cherry on top.
Here's the great thing.
Who is he to say that?
He can comment all he wants. You got to play a game tonight. We'll see. End of discussion.
We will see. Don't lose. Don't lose. Heavy favorites. Everybody picking you. Don't lose.
What's the line? 8?
The point line for tonight?
Celtics favored by 8?
Let's take a little
That's an insult.
Take a little looky-loo.
Well, especially when I don't care how the Heat play, they're going to be within 5.
But that's insulting. I don't even think was
-8 tonight.
And what were they against the Bucks? Were they double digits?
I think they were for
they were 13.
Yeah.
Wow.
The game they end up closing
Even
it out.
Vegas. Listen, I got no side in this. Obviously, I'm always in the side with money. So since the Heat pay me, the station, so I'm siding with y'all. But that's some disrespectful stuff.
It is disrespectful.
Like,
especially when
-8.
You have a team that has proven that they can play and keep any game against any team, any kind of way close.
And there were close games every time they played in the playoffs.
They're acting like Jimmy Butler's walking out there with the Sioux Falls Skyforce, and they're not. Like, that's the thing that I find insulting about it. They're acting like he's playing with nothing but bums, and that's not the case.
Here's what you do, Tobin. You have to learn a valuable sports lesson that you've never learned, and I can understand why you haven't learned that.
Because I was right about the Heat and Bucks.
No. See, there we go. Here's the deal. You can talk all the trash you want until it's game time. And at game time, that'll determine all that bumping of your gums or whatever.
I just think it's funny. Like, this guy's going to sit here, a Mr. Done Nothing, except win his little regular season award for being the best bench guy, which Tyler Hero.
Why would you wasn't saying that last year with Tyler Hero?
Yeah, but Tyler Hero didn't do anything in the playoffs last year. And in fact, Tyler Hero had the wherewithal and the foresight to say going into the playoffs, he goes, I know my regular season didn't mean anything because I had to prove it in the playoffs, which is why his injury was so heartbreaking to him. Because he's got the maturity to talk about that at 23 years old. And Malcolm Brogdon, who's
Hold on.
What?
Say it right.
Yeah, I'm saying that Tyler Hero has the maturity to go out there.
No.
And
maturity.
No.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, you didn't.
No.
Wait,
he said it like old rich white guy.
No, because
Tyler Hero's got the maturity to go out there.
Wait. Can you spell maturity for me? Because
I thought the spelling bee. This is the spelling bee.
You know what? I was a spelling bee champion in
Were you
6th
really?
grade. Yes, maturity has a U in it. The way you're saying maturity, there's an O in it.
It was tomato. Haven't you ever?
No, there's no tomato in this.
Tomato, dude.
Oh no.
Oh, I think there is. I think there is. You're not being very mature right now.
You allow me to
Tobin, that's why. Hey,
I'm not gonna let
Tobin,
you guys
stop it. Stop.
I've really had enough of you two harassing me today. Okay.
-1.
But like
he knew what he was. Vlad, he knew what the hell he was doing. He knew what he was doing.
Malcolm Brogdon is going to sit here. Malcolm Brogdon's going to sit here and he's going to be like, "Oh, we're going to out-desire them." Okay, dude. All right. And how do you prove that? Because you want to know something? Let's just recap the Miami Heat's playoffs so far, because your playoffs was almost losing to Trae Young and almost losing to the biggest choker in the history of sports. So let's just recap the Heats. They made Giannis Antetokounmpo go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and reestablish the definition of failure. They got Mike Budenholzer, a two-time coach of the year, fired. They had Julius Randle go from an all-NBA player to people to having Dwight Howard recruit him to Taiwan. So, like, let's just tread lightly a little bit on the whole. They're not gonna do that to us. We'll see, dude. But don't lose, because you're as heavy a favorite as it gets. Some might look at it as the most epic choke of all time.
The game is in 9.5 hours.
And I can't wait. Let's go right now, dude. Let's
go.
go.
And all that trash talk and all that nonsense they talking about, we'll see. We'll see.
Text
we'll see. Look, you don't go up there and play a raggedy game. After you talk about matching intensity, don't go and get punked.
They're not going.
Don't go and get pushed around.
They're going to do exactly what they've done this entire playoffs. They're going to go up there. They're going to snatch home court advantage, because that's what they do. Take home court advantage like candy from a baby. Jimmy Butler sees a little baby in a bassinet on it with its lollipop, and he goes, "Give me that." That's home court advantage to Jimmy Butler. Snatches it.
Is it really home court advantage when you play 3 of each? Yeah, I guess so. If you win all your home games. Yeah. But this is going to be a long series, dude. Right?
If you define 6 as a long series, then I agree with you. But they're going to
one less than the max.
Just snatch that home court advantage, and then you protect home court.
Is it tonight they're going to snatch it?
I think so. Got all this rest. These Celtics aren't even taking it seriously, it sounds like. Big mistake.
You read, you know what?
He's the best, man. He's the best.
You read into things unlike any other person. Because I got to tell you, you made a mountain out of a molehill.
No, dude, that was something.
A mountain?
I didn't. No. That wasn't a molehill. Even
Mount
you reacted.
Vesuvius.
You say I overreact.
The civilization of this,
dude. You say I overreact to everything. Even you found that to be a harsh soundbite from old blogs.
I thought the last little bit was unnecessary.
That's all that matters.
But again, the game is in about 9.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go get punked. Because if the Heat come in there and beat them up, it'll suck the life out of them after saying that ain't going to happen to us.
So excited. Hey, can we hear a little bit from last night? We had the Western Conference. I'll give you some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
The Nuggets, they lost game 1.
No, they won game 1. Nuggets won game.
I'm sorry. The Lakers lost game 1 to the Nuggets. Jokic, amazing. God, he's good.
Dude, it's like he does nothing fast, but can't nobody stop nothing he does. Right?
The Lakers did have a valiant effort in the fourth quarter. They nearly pulled it out. But LeBron says that doesn't matter. Don't care about the deficit. A loss is a loss.
In the postseason, it doesn't matter if you cut it to 1 or you're down 20. If you lose, you lose. They're 1-0, and we have to come back with desperation and going into game 2. We have to play better. We have to rebound better. I thought we did a good job of not turning the ball over. That's one thing we've been very conscious about in the postseason. But we've been better in transition tonight. We wasn't that great in the first half. We cleaned it up in the second half. So we need to be better at all facets of the game.
God, I can't wait till Malcolm Brogdon has like 4 turnovers tonight. going to come in there. Look at me being a spark plug. Snatch. Kyle Lowry takes the basketball from you. Idiot.
Wow, now all of a sudden, so
he started it. He started it on me.
Wow. But no, here's what the amazing thing is. The amazing thing to me, I don't know about to anybody else, but just to me, is the guy that you claim to be the Brogdon stopper, you're called a bum 2 months ago.
I never called him a bum.
What did you say about him?
Bum.
Well, I thought that his Heat career was going to be over. I thought that he was going to get traded.
And that's who you went. And now that's who you're relying on.
I did say at one point 2 years ago when there were trade deadline rumors with the Heat and the Raptors, I said, never want Kyle Lowry, would never trade Goran Dragic for him, which is exactly what happened 4 months later. But then he became my guy. That's my guy, dude. Low dog. The rump roast.
Yeah, you used to call him Rump Shaker.
Here's Anthony Davis on the loss yesterday. Here's what he had to say about taking on the Joker.
I mean, he's a two-time MVP. You know, obviously, as his numbers show, made some tough shots. You know, we just try to make it tough for him, you know, switching up matchups and schemes on him. But he's been playing well through the entire season and, you know, especially in this playoff. So, you know, you tip your hat to him.
You know, you dropped 40 points. And it was still considered to be less than. That's terrible. That's sad.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like the Lakers.
Hey, you wasted a good game by AD because
you know
he's on and off.
Yep, that's true.
So if he comes out here's where I will have some type of hope in the Lakers. It's not with anything else other than one thing. If AD comes out and had 30, right? Then I think however this series goes, maybe we can count on him every game. But if he come out and do the 15 and 8, then I'm gonna be like, oh no.
When Joker did drop that 3, I don't know that beautiful rainbow heave, and like 80 just stares at him like, really, dude? He's like, yeah, that's right.
I'm telling you,
that's right.
That's what everybody does with this guy. They go, I'm more athletic, I'm quicker, I can defend better, I'm in front of him, and he's
still like out there trying to pass at the end of these games, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen him miss a floater, so I don't know why he doesn't just go in the paint and just go.
It's amazing. He doesn't jump.
Nope.
Right? And yet everything is beautiful, right? Yeah. Like all of his moves are like, it's hard being 20-something years old and already being considered crafty.
There was an all-time.
He's too young. He's not like old Dirk. Like he had come into the league being crafty.
I feel like he's going to be able to do this if he pleases. Now, I don't know. He might want to be done playing by the time he's 35, but I feel like he could do this till he's 40 if he wanted to.
Easily.
Like Arvydas Sabonis.
If he wanted to, but it feels like, but there's also part of me that feels like he wants to go with his horses in Serbia and just vanish at 35.
Or his brothers will tell him, hey, it's time to get to the family business.
It's time, Joker. You are no longer Joker. You are now king of Serbia. It's time to pass torch to Nikola Jokic.
It's crazy just watching the pace in which he does things and how much success he has and go, wow, we've been basing this all off of athletic ability and length and quickness and reach and all that. And I'm watching this guy and he just doing whatever he want with what he got.
It'd be very interesting in the summer if the Heat even put Jovic in trade talks. Because how do they not look at this and be like, huh? Well, we got one of those. Maybe. Let's go see.
Maybe.
And he's bulking up, right?
Dude, he's swole. He's not even.
He got real muscles too. He ain't got Jokic muscles.
Crazy.
No, Jokic got fat. He's got blood.
Right.
Take a quick break. An all-time Team Petty move yesterday. That's next.
There's more.
Welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy. Hey, you guys like boats? You could be on your way to the SoFlo Boat Show. Just go to WQM.com, sign up on the RSVP list. We got hundreds of tickets. First 100 people to register, they get to go, man. The SoFlo Boat Show is at the iconic Miami Marine Stadium this weekend. Heat, Celtics, back at it tonight as the Eastern Conference Finals gets going. Solana special edition of pre-Heat starting at 7 o'clock tonight. So a lot of Heat coverage. Heat right now, a little bit of Heat coverage nationally as Skip and Shannon talking about it right now. So, they're talking about the Jimmy Butler quote we played yesterday, Leroy, where he says, "This is our year. This year is our year." Which, look, Jimmy's a confident guy. He's swag around. Jimmy Butler right now, his confidence is sky high. He thinks of himself as the best player on the planet, and he's been playing like it. There's not many people who can go up there and have a good argument for him and say you're not. Like, there's other guys who are playing great. Jokic is playing great. Tatum obviously closed out that series strong. Devin Booker had an amazing playoffs, but nobody's outplayed Jimmy. Nobody's outplayed Jimmy for him not to believe that stuff. And not only that, but what he brings on the defensive end. I mean, he's such a beast. And so that's why he says his confidence is as sky high as it is right now.
There's confidence, and then there's kind of an arrogance. There's nothing wrong with confidence, because as a competitor, you have to have confidence in what you do in order to get to where you need to go. And to see the numbers that he's put up and where this team is, why wouldn't Jimmy's confidence be high?
He was actually touched on this a little bit yesterday when talking about, he was asked about Heat culture, standard operation at Heat practice, but he talked about that arrogance, confidence borderline that some people may look at them as.
Yeah, it's real. But I think more than anything, it's just the belief that we have in one another, the belief that you must have in yourself to realize how special you can be in this league, in this moment, in this organization. I think everybody's bought into that. Everybody's confident. I don't even know if overconfident is what you would call it, but it's a thing. And our guys are playing some incredible basketball. So that Heat culture, the confidence that Heat culture instills in each and every one of us is very real.
I'm not going to say it because Leroy already says I'm a goose, he's floozy, but you know what I feel.
So it's okay it's okay for Jimmy to say that, right?
Of course.
And believe in his team and his organization, his players and his culture. But it's not okay for Malcolm Brogdon.
Well, he didn't say anything about the Celtics. He didn't say that. He didn't say that they're more confident. No. They're not going to be more confident than us.
Here's the difference, though. Okay, what Jimmy has done in these playoffs and what he's done since he's been here has led him to saying the things that he's saying. Okay, the Boston Celtics have not been tougher than anybody. Every team has been able to compete with them to the point where people wondered if Boston could get it done. Right? Now they won a game 7. Tatum scores 51, and now everybody's back on the bandwagon.
That's the thing that's crazy about it is, like, look, I get it. They've been basically coronated, them and the Bucks, all season as the two favorites, but they haven't looked great this playoffs. They have been very inconsistent this postseason, whereas Miami has been the most consistent team every single playoffs. Like, they nearly won a game on the road without Jimmy. They got blown out that one game where the Bucks made a record amount of 3-pointers, and then gentlemen swept them. They had the game without Jimmy. They almost won without Jimmy. So they've only won at full strength. They've lost one game basically. And the Celtics are sitting here. They're playing with their food I don't know if they're playing with their food or they can't get it together. And I don't know. And it's funny that, everybody is sitting here and they're putting it on Mazzulla. They're putting it on the young coach, which I don't even think is that fair to him. I'm like, I think he's done a pretty okay job. They're still in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's not like he's been a complete boob. I think you got to look at the players for that standpoint. So look, I just thought of it as such a strange thing to say. Like, you're going to guarantee that Miami's not going to out-tough you. That's just an odd guarantee for Brogdon to make.
It's a hard thing to say when you haven't experienced that intensity. And what I would say is this. There's something to say we got to match their intensity, right? We would have all been okay with that. If we want to win, we got to match their intensity. But to say we're going to do it without truly understanding what you're facing, that's probably
it's not even that he said that they're gonna out. He says they're not gonna out tough us.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Who are you to say what the Heat's effort's gonna be?
I would say based on what?
Right.
Not how you've played the first two series.
All-time team petty move yesterday, Leroy. So did you see Francis Ngannou yesterday announced that he is signing with the PFL? He is going to the PFL. He's going to make oodles of money with them. And he's still free to go box. He actually says he thinks he's going to box before he debuts with the PFL. And did a cool thing where he says his opponents are getting a minimum $2 million purse to fight him in MMA. So Francis Ngannou is a good guy. You know, it seems like a good guy. You know, a lot of people making fun of him, saying that he messed up and leaving. John Jones was talking a lot of smack yesterday about him. John Jones said something like that. Let me get this John Jones quote for you. I was like, what?
He's talking?
He's talking. He's talking, dude. He is talking.
When is his next fight?
Summer.
It keeps getting pushed back. We've been thinking it's going to be in summer against Stipe, but like now they don't know because they just announced a bunch of cards and he's still not. They don't have his fight yet. But he said, "My man wins one Super Bowl, transferred to the top arena football league, and then claims to be better than Brady." That's what I'm hearing right now. I was like, whoa, that's something. And so then Francis Ngannou, he responded by saying, I believe something to the effect of, "Then cross the street."
No, you know what the reply should have been, Vlad? Get your hands out my pocket.
True.
Get your hands out my pocket.
Well, it didn't end too well after that line.
Well,
yeah, but I'm just saying is that we all have a tendency to make opinions on decisions that are made for money without knowing why that other person made that decision. He been complaining for years that the UFC won't pay him.
Right.
So somebody stepped up. Somebody stepped up and paid him, and he left. You can't then come at him.
John Jones.
You know what they should have said? They should have said, "I don't know why the UFC allows this to happen."
John Jones then said, somebody said to John Jones, "You're doing a lot of talking now that you guys can't fight." And he says, "You notice that. Wasn't calling himself the baddest man when he was still a free agent. He signed safely behind a new organization. Now all of a sudden he's the baddest thing walking. Like we all haven't seen him quitting inside the cage before."
Ouch. They got to fight
now.
A
long time ago there.
But
John.
guess what? But wait. Is it accurate?
No, it's true. But I mean, I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, but John's had close fights too. Like, look, John's gotten out by the before this Cyril Gahn fight. The last two fights, you could argue that he lost. It's not like we haven't seen John Jones push to the limit before. Like he's been invincible.
What he does is
he's the best. Don't get me wrong. I think
he plays with his food.
He has to be. I think a motivated John Jones cannot be stopped. That's what I mean.
Right. And what happens is
I believe he would beat Francis.
He need to trash talk. He need to go in there with some motivation. If he just go in there like it's another fight, it doesn't look all that good.
Still coked up.
Well, the Dana White pulled an all-time team petty move though yesterday. So this Francis Ngannou gets announced, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then yesterday, Dana White comes out, breaking news. And so Dana White then just starts listing off all these fights that he's giving out. So he does yesterday, he announces Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje, which I mean, that's a good fight.
That's gonna be a bloodbath
for the vacant BMF title now that Jorge Masvidal has retired. So they're bringing the BMF title back.
What?
Yup. In Salt Lake City, though. Kind of weird. And then
that's one of the few places that allowed them to fight during COVID, right?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Jacksonville.
I think it was Jacksonville.
Yeah, no,
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
I know they went to Jacksonville.
I don't know why he's been into Utah lately. It's been strange. He did Usman versus Edwards in Utah.
Big money,
right?
There, man.
I guess so. I mean, Dwayne Wade's over there, you know.
Big money.
And then he announced in Boston, Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Of course.
Of course.
Oh, we love this guy. Taking on Aljamain Sterling for the bantamweight title.
In Boston?
In Boston.
Oh, come on, man.
So they're
setting my man
Yeah,
up.
they really are.
They're lining my man.
You know who we're rooting for.
They lighting the yardie up, man. Poor guy.
Oh man. Well, listen, he did kind of just get a hometown fight. I mean, there's New Jersey.
They don't even like him in his hometown.
Nobody likes him. I mean, it's because his fights are boring.
And then they're gonna go against the Irish guy with the dreads.
That's absolutely one of the worst things about any type of fight game, boxing or whatever. The counterpuncher who's great at counterpunching and making people miss.
Mm-hmm.
That sometimes is a terrible fight to watch, even though you can appreciate that skill.
I feel like this one will be interesting because it's going to be either Sean O'Malley is going to do some crazy striking stuff and impress from that because I think he's still a little bit unproven. This is why he got so mad at me on Twitter one time and called me fat.
He called you fat?
Yeah, you remember that? Where he tweeted at me, he got all sensitive because I was like, I'm like, he's not more popular than Masvidal. He hasn't even headlined a pay-per-view, which, by the way, is true because Jorge Masvidal just broke the gate record. So my point stood. But that being said, he's still a little bit unproven. But so I could see him either lighten Aljamain Sterling on the feet. He just shows out that he's ready, or I think Aljamain Sterling chokes him out in like 3 seconds.
Oh, jeez.
Just dices him up. Just like
in 3 seconds.
Takes him down, gets around him like a boa constrictor, and just done. But Dana White, so like this big PFL day, and Dana White, you know what? Dana White's like, today's a good day to announce a bunch of fights. Feels like Francis has an announcement today, does he? How about 2 monster pay-per-views for my fans? Anyway, take a break. Back after this. All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. It is our tour. We got a little cool tour event coming up this week. And we're giving you a chance to win a photo op with Uno and an autograph, courtesy of Hollywood Collectibles. For your chance to win, text the word football to 20357. That's football to 20357. And you can go to that meet and greet, seat tour. Pretty cool prize. That's the guy right now. If you guys don't win, you guys can still go to the meet and greet. All you got to do is get your tickets now and go to Hollywood Collectibles on Sterling Road in Dania Beach this Saturday starting at noon. Tickets available at HollywoodCollectibles.com. We'll get to some Cat talk coming on up as the Eastern Conference Finals for the Cats starts tomorrow as they're getting ready for the Carolina Hurricanes. But yesterday, Leroy, Adam Silver on the NBA Draft Lottery show, he did some thoughts on Ja Morant, who was caught on social media this weekend flashing a gun again on his friend's Instagram Live. Vlad, do you have the commish after this?
We talked directly about the consequences first before we got to a subsequent potential to have done something wrong. We were very focused on the misconduct that was in front of us at the time. And frankly, most of our conversation was about how incredibly serious the first incident was of waving, a firearm on social media. And again, and the consequences there, an 8-game suspension was pretty serious and something that he, at least to me, seemed to take incredibly seriously in that time. And we spoke for a long time about not just the consequences that could have on his career, but the safety issues around it. Could have injured, maimed, killed himself, someone else with an act like that. And also the acknowledgement that, as you said, he's a star. I mean, he has an incredibly huge following. Yeah. And that my concern, and I thought he shared with me, that millions, if not tens of millions of kids globally would see him as having done something that was celebrating in a way. That act of using a firearm in that fashion. And so I at least was left with the sense that he was taking this incredibly seriously. So honestly, I was shocked when I saw this weekend that video. Now, we're in the process of investigating it, and we'll figure out exactly what happened to the best we can then. It's the video's a bit grainy and all that, but I'm assuming the worst, but we'll figure out, exactly what happened there.
That's tough when the commissioner's like, I'm assuming the worst.
I mean, it's not.
You pot of. Go ahead, Leroy. Sorry, we had you potted down there for a second.
Sorry. It's not like they don't have the video and was told, what are you investigating?
Morant.
That was his nice way of saying, here's what he said. I'm pissed off. I'm extremely pissed off with the conversations we had. And we haven't even talked or discussed what the punishment will be. But it's going to be more than 8 games. Because we already determined that 8 games was a substantial suspension, and that wasn't good enough.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's going to be interesting about it, I don't know where the CBA goes into this stuff too, because the one difference I think with the first incident was he was on a road trip, I believe, and now he's in the off season, so I don't know if that has any difference, weight or whatever.
It does for one of the stars of your league. Absolutely does.
From the standpoint
of you still representing the NBA.
Okay.
He's Ja Morant, the NBA player.
He said that. He said you're a superstar.
He did say that. He is.
When he said that wasn't just saying, you're super. No, we got money on you, bro. We got money in you, invested in you, and you're messing this up.
Exactly.
Ja Morant said in a statement yesterday, I know I've disappointed a lot of people who have supported me. This is a journey, and I recognize there's more work to do. My words may not mean much right now, but I take full responsibility for my actions, and I'm committed to continuing to work on myself.
We don't need you to commit to working on yourself. We need you to stop doing stupid stuff.
We need you to just stop putting guns on social media.
And here's the thing, and I know this firsthand. You know it is. It's not hard to not play with guns, but it is hard to keep that facade going on with your friends, right? You got to be a certain type of guy to hang out with your friends. The hardest thing is not saying no to the league,
right?
But it's saying no to your friends. You know, if you're not allowed to drink and y'all go to the club and all your friends are drinking, are you still going to be the guy not to take a drink?
Sure.
And what the league is saying is maybe you shouldn't be in those situations in the first place, knowing what your situation is. That's the hard thing to get to. It's not to not play with the gun. It's to not give the appearance to your friends that you done gone soft. And I think one of the things that I heard was that they asked him to stop hanging out with that dude because he was trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And the second he's video with the guy again, because here's the thing, it's twofold.
That's the tough thing. Well, that's the thing. But that's the thing, though, is he's not breaking the law. I'm not saying it's not stupid. It's obviously stupid, but he's not breaking the law to hang out with the guy, you know? Like, that's the thing that's
but
the
waving
thing
a gun in the car?
Tough. Yeah, that's tough.
And have the friend that you don't have a problem hanging out with videotaping it?
Well, I don't know if is he in Memphis. Like, are they allowed to have guns out?
Well, no, I'm just saying the friend that videotaped it don't have his best interest at heart.
To add a little more to what Leroy is saying, this is the friend that was banned from FedEx Forum for a year.
Oh, is he the one that was like in the incidents?
Right, and that was the one that was the incident with Indiana with the Pacers that tried to get on the.
Yeah, he probably should not be hanging out with that guy, but it's not illegal to hang out with that guy. You know,
but
like
that's
I am with
saying.
you. It's a like he should know. Like, hey, I don't know how real a friend he is because it's like, look, obviously, bad stuff just seems to follow when this group gets together or whatever, but. I don't know what, like, I'm just, what are the ramifications of that for John Morant when he's hanging out with people in the off season?
Here's the problem. The ramifications of hanging out with the guy is nothing. The stuff y'all get into while hanging out with the guy is what the problem is. And what everybody around him tried to get into his head was every time you with this guy, y'all get into some trouble. So why don't you take a break from this guy? Whether it's the Indiana Pacers thing, whether it's the original gun thing, whether it's this thing, the one thing that's constant is that dude, your friend. And I got to tell you, here's what my mom would say to me. If your friend understands your situation and he's still getting you in that kind of trouble or even going down that path, he ain't your friend. Because he don't care about you. You know, any friend that I've ever had growing up or any friend that I've ever had, hey, man, go do your thing. You're gonna do something.
Yeah, well, that is true. Like, I think the thing with this friend of his, I would make sure, especially knowing what was all on the line, I would feel like that. But like, what if, but here's the thing, what if it's not on the friend? What if it's on John Morant?
Then that's a whole nother conversation.
That's the problem. Like, what if he's not like? Because I
know what I call it.
With the thing with the video is the guy's Instagram living, which the first decision would probably be let's stop doing things live. We're not Bill O'Reilly.
Here's the other thing. So I call it the Bobby Brown Whitney Houston situation. We all thought Bobby Brown was turning her out. And it was the other way around, as we have heard the story being told.
Yeah, because it's like when the person, as much as we want to say, like, it's the influence around the person with the fame, but what if it's the person with the fame who's the enabling of everything? You know, like, what are they going to say?
Then his buddy is not a good fall guy.
Nope. Especially
right?
because he records everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
He's a snitch.
Why are you recording, dude?
Trying to get to
like,
your
do you know
40,000 Instagram followers.
Here's what I would tell friends. You know, if I get in trouble, we can't do this no more, right?
That's true.
So there's no more fun, no more hanging out, no more clubbing, no more anything. If I get in trouble. So if y'all want to come travel with me, y'all want to go to Vegas with me, y'all want to hang out, go to the strip club, do all these things, y'all got to make sure I don't get in trouble.
We'll take a quick break. Cats, Canes, coming on up tomorrow. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. We also have a little bit of a dilemma. That's next.
Oh.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM.
Hey.
Taking you up until 2 o'clock.
We have to get to the dilemma now.
Okay.
It may take 2 hours to get to an answer. I am confused, and I don't know what to do for this reason.
Mm-hmm.
We have supported the Panthers. We have been a big fan of the Panthers. We love them.
Love them.
I don't think the media or their PR person,
who's a delight, by the way,
fully understands the term mush, because
I don't obviously
trying to do her job.
Exactly.
And
They're
we
trying to get some Panthers
understand
press.
that.
Right.
However, you are treading on some, and you're into a sports area.
Let me paint the picture for everybody. First of all, let's get some cat talk brought to us by our friends over at Celsius, which, by the way, J-Fig, missed out. Look what I brought you today. All right. So now it's mine. Little strawberry lemonade, your favorite. But let's get to some cat talk brought to us by our friends at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out. When it's game time, make Celsius part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers.
Let's paint this scenario for people, okay?
First of all,
like Leroy said,
I've deemed you the mush.
We love the Panthers, okay? And we want to, get some Panthers on the show. They want some Panthers on our station. Obvious. We will do that 100% times over. They said, hey, send a list of some guys you want. And immediately my reaction was, my God, Bob, number one on the list. That's what I should do. But I didn't, because you guys have badgered me and you have bullied me and you have ridiculed me into saying I'm the Panthers mush. That I'm the not the Panthers mush, that I'm the Bobrovsky mush. Okay?
Listen, we haven't determined that. Mm-hmm. We have just read the evidence and come to the conclusion.
It's circumstantial.
It's not circumstantial.
It's circumstantial evidence at best. It's circumstantial at best.
You're a mush. The guy's been great since you left him alone.
Dude, that's not fair, okay? Because
is it accurate?
Well, it just happens to line up that way. But like a lot of things had to happen in the meanwhile.
This sounds like, Doc, it hurts when I do this. Don't do that.
So we gave him I gave him a list of Panthers, not including Bobrovsky. And our boss Galen, he sent it off to the Panthers, and great. We assume we're gonna get some Panthers, right? They don't know about the mush talk. I don't know if they know about the mush talk. I don't believe I am a Bobrovsky mush, but you have manipulated the audience into thinking that I am.
No, I didn't.
So instead of us having Sergei Bobrovsky on, which I would have done I would have already reached out about having him on in the first place, you have said, don't touch him, don't go near him. You're banned from Sunrise. I'm not even allowed to go to Sunrise. And you said no ice den, no anywhere near Bobrovsky. Okay.
I have a problem when you chew ice. That's how bad I want you away from the Panthers.
I have heard from the grapevine after our request was put in that the answer that was kicked back was, hey, you guys don't want to talk to Bob? The only guy he'll talk to in town one-on-one is old Tobes. So I was like, wait a minute here. What am I to do? If the Panthers want him on with me, if the Panthers want a talk with Bob, what am I supposed to do?
I will say that he was really stuck in a pickle right there, because he knows about the curse, his jinx.
I'm not a jinx.
But you do want to get Florida Panthers on your show, especially at this time of the year.
Of course.
So,
and it would almost, here's the kicker.
And they know that their relationship, that was the thing.
Right.
Like, they know their relationship.
I have had.
Here's the problem. If you don't have Bob on and have somebody else on, Bob's going to be insulted.
Exactly. That's my boy. Wait a minute. My friend doesn't want to talk to him. What
do you mean?
So how do we do this?
Why you talk to Radko?
He can talk to him, man. Listen, he can talk to him. if it's an interview just like this, the way you've had,
You're the only person saying that, because the feedback I've gotten immediately from my fellow Panthers fans is no effing way.
It's not his fault. This is not his fault. He did not.
So,
listen,
can we do it on Friday?
What? So you want a game? You want a game in hand?
Wait a time out. When do you talk to him? It would have to be today, right? Can't be right before the game.
No. I don't think it would be today, but I think in the series is probably most likely when they get back to Florida.
So what?
Friday.
Game 3 Monday.
So maybe he can get enough play under his belt that works like the Tobin shot.
Schmieder says, Tobin, if you talk to Bob, I will end you. Texter says, if you talk to Bob, you might as well not watch the games. Save Bob from himself, says Dade South. Stunt Steve is like, you're dead to me if you talk to him.
Steve.
He doesn't want you in Sawgrass. He doesn't even want you sniffing Fort Lauderdale, Broward County.
He wants you to talk to him. He wants you to go home. Wait, he wants you to go home down the turnpike. Don't even take the Sawgrass.
Look,
he wants you to go through a portal.
Look, I don't believe that I'm a jinx. Okay? Evan Lennon, don't do it.
Wait, can I just say this? The jinx never recognizes that he's a jinx.
I don't believe I'm a jinx.
Nobody's ever called himself a mush.
And I'm flattered that our relationship, that my and Sergei Bobrovsky's relationship has built this bridge, because I've sat down with him many a times. I've learned many things about Sergei Bobrovsky, from, his favorite holidays to his favorite movies, to the Russian celebration with the giant wooden bench, to why he loves a trampoline. I've learned many things about Sergei Bobrovsky that nobody probably would ever realize. I don't know if I want all of Cats Nation upset at me, because if they lose game 1 or game 2, I know I'm not going to hear the end of it.
Okay, but wait. Here's the issue. Here's the other thing. If they win tomorrow and you interview him on Friday, we're in a different spot. You see what I'm saying?
Well, what if they don't win?
Then, see, but here's the problem. You schedule these things in advance.
Right.
And I just have a feeling if they lose game 1 and you interview them on Friday, it could be a sweep.
Maybe just give me Reinhardt, guys. I don't know.
No, you can't, because that could then have a negative effect because you insult Bob.
I don't think Bob's going to know. I don't know.
Of course, he listens to the
station. He's going to know.
You think Bob's listening to us?
He's going to know, though. Wait, you think he's not? Wait. You think he's not going to know the only guy that he'll interview somebody else?
You think that Sergei Bobrovsky's getting ready for Rats Off a Ship this hour?
Yes.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
He gets focused. That's how he gets into his game.
I love Rats Off a Ship.
If you went and ate lunch with somebody that you and your wife went to school with, you think she'll find out?
Another guy says, Tobin, I love you. Please God, don't talk to Bob.
I don't know. Hey, I don't know what to do.
Oh, no, you started.
As your friend, I would advise you a certain way. But as your coworker that loves having Panthers on, how can you say no?
No, you can't say no.
Another guy says, Tobin is the guy in the back of the room with a movie in Bronx Tale. Put him in the closet.
Oh, the mush. That's who he is. That's where the mush comes from.
Not Eddie Mush, dude.
Eddie Mush.
Comes from.
Brandon Mush.
Dade South says there's a lot of mush enabling going on here.
I don't know, because here, I'm going to be honest with you. Very rarely, right, if it's not the fight game, have players requested to come on our show.
Well, he
said they would only come on our show.
But the idea is I know if the Panthers want their star goalie on right now, they said, well, the only one he's going to talk to is me, because
how do we do this?
Many a times at the Ice Den, I talked to Bob during the pandemic. I mean, Bob and I, we go back. Even when everybody hated him, I loved him.
Question. Do we send you to the Ice Den by yourself and we go when they get back home? Or do we do it remotely and we do it from there in Carolina?
I don't know. Does any of this matter? You guys are going to yell at me no matter what.
First of all, this interview would have to be done either tomorrow before game 1 or after game 1 on Friday?
He's not going to talk to me on a game day. No way.
So then
After it's got to be done on Friday.
No. This is going to be done Monday after game 3. That's what it is.
Stun Steve is begging me. Short answer, no. Please don't.
But you're also smacking the Panthers. Like you
I'm
cannot.
not smacking the Panthers.
I didn't say you. I didn't say Tobin. You're out of this. You're in a pickle. Okay, you're in a pickle.
We have a tough task here because nobody understands the mushness of Tobin.
I'm not a mush.
For you.
Stop
You know the
mush.
mush.
I know.
No, do not say that.
Dude.
Don't say there's a mushness like it's a characteristic of mine.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
I don't agree with this.
Wait,
mango
you got pretty blue eyes and you're mush.
This is ridiculous.
Blue eyes, mango juice.
How can I be a mush?
Kryptonite is mango juice. Come on.
Another guy says, keep them away from Fort Lauderdale Airport. They fly out today at noon.
Well, they flew out now then.
Oh, they already gone.
So they're gone. Good.
So I wonder if we do it remotely. Does that count?
You said yes.
I know. I'm trying.
So
wait, I don't know what to do.
All right, Leroy, can he not be within the vicinity of Bob, or it's just like they can't even like look at each other through a mirror, through a lens?
The last interview I had with him was remote. I did it via Zoom. We talked.
And then he gave up 8 goals.
Listen,
I understand.
I have a friend who says, Tobin, he'll take the mush away from you because he took a picture with Bob last year at Cafe Europa, and then that's when he started going on his on his bad streak. So he'll take that mush away from you in order for you to interview Bob.
Wow.
Shout out to Big Mike.
Yeah, he says, Twitcher nerds, bring him on, Tobin. It's the Eastern Conference Finals. It's a good get. Who, he's been.
So do we do it on Friday?
I don't know. I'll just ask. I said, okay, we're up for it whenever they want. I mean, I'll make it happen.
It's got to be Monday. I'll tell you why.
Yeah,
3 games would have been played already,
and he'll be back home.
And he'll be back home. So if you're 3-0, you could
ruin that, right?
You can't ruin. You could win one more game.
Wait, no, that's when Mush is at his finest. Because remember, they came back from 3-1 against the greatest team ever.
Silly Sauce says any other player but Bob.
I know, but we don't talk to any other player. We only have Bob.
One guy says, Tobin, I will give you 2 black eyes if you do this. Jesus.
They can't give you a black eye. Your nose will get in the way.
So it's just Bob, right? You can't talk to. You could talk to any other Panther player.
Yeah. Well, when I get this initial email from Galen, I didn't put Bob. I wanted to, but I thought, I was like, man, everyone's going to be mad at me. So I didn't put Bob on the list. I basically put every other Panther on the list.
So we can't. No, we can't. See, here's the problem. J Fig wants to just talk to somebody else. Talk to Eggblatt. Talk to Barkey. Talk to Duclair. I wouldn't mind Duclair.
Bring the brother on.
But here's the problem. It'd almost be worse if you slight Bobrovsky when he only said he would talk to you.
Ooh, what about Tobin wearing disguise?
No, he can't. How can he wear disguise?
Come on, recognize that nose anyway.
The only thing he can go in there and do is the Humpty dance.
Text right then. If you
y'all remember the video, you know what I'm talking about.
If you talk to him and the guy says if you talk to him and they lose against the Canes, you're dead to me, and I'll switch to 940.
Wow. Jeez.
Hey, that's gonna be hard to find. Like, it's 940 on your dial, but it ain't like so. How do I do this though, Tobes? I don't know. As a friend, right?
Look,
who don't want you to take, but as a co-host, it's a good get.
I know. That's what I was saying.
So then, how do we do it? How do we do it?
I'm too scared.
It has to be.
I'm too scared of the ramifications because if they don't win, because by the way, Carolina's really good.
Yes.
And
remember, it was for the last 3 or 4 years, all we've been talking about is getting past Carolina or Tampa.
Yeah. And so I'm terrified that the first game, everyone's going to be mad at me. And I don't want to be blamed for the Cats.
So how about this? How about we do this? Let's send her a text or message. If they win, we'll do Friday, or we do it in person on Monday. How's that? Because here.
I think they play on Monday.
Oh, okay. But here's the problem. It's Thursday, Saturday, Monday.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. Okay. As much as I appreciate your mushness, right? We also have a job to do, and we have access to one of the best players that won't talk to anybody else. Right. So we are obligated.
Also,
as radio show hosts.
I also think that Bob would be insulted if he thought that talking to me would have any power over him because he stays focused.
Oh no, we'll keep it between us. We ain't gonna just say, "Hey Bob, the guy you're talking to is a mush." No, we ain't gonna. I'm not like that. What do you think? I'm Beast?
Take a quick break. That was some cat talk brought to us by friends at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out when it's game time. Make Celsius a party playing. Get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of the Florida Panthers. Game 1 tomorrow here on WQAM. Back after this.
And
Rats Off a Ship is coming up in about 10 minutes. Oh, hello, Jennifer.
Hello, Mush.
Why do you gotta open it up like that? I was gonna give you a strawberry lemonade today if you were here. That's
because you are trying to get me on your side. But
It's
I did
not true.
appreciate the efforts. Very sweet.
It's not true. I'm not trying to get you on my side. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I was just simply asking a question, you know?
Honestly, it's a very hard question.
It's a very hard question. It's a very hard question.
I don't know how to.
It's very defining.
Especially when we have to, we have a job.
Right.
And
you know, Tobin, as much as he is Tobin, he is a professional.
I am. I am a professional. That's what they say.
We can do it. We can do.
What if it's like
There's another option.
Hmm?
There's another option.
Hmm.
You know, we can do what a lot of people in this world do: pass the buck. So we can interview Bob, right? And if things don't go well, we can just blame Lynn for putting us in this situation. Hey, pass the buck. Corporate. There we go. Let's throw that line at him. Corporate.
Dade South says if Tobin interviews Bob, Leroy becomes the mush too. Them's the rules.
Ooh.
He's not gonna do that. He's gonna throw it all on me. It's gonna be like all the responsibility is gonna be on me. I know how that's gonna work. Rats Off a Ship is right.
I'm trying. Listen, I am trying my damnedest to do the responsible thing and the right thing. And there's no way of doing both. The responsible thing is keep the mush away. But the right thing is we have a relationship with the Panthers. Their star goalie is only going to talk to us. We would be doing the people of South Florida a disservice if we don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking about it. The people that listen to our show understand. I don't know how much the Panthers will understand. I don't know how much Lynn will understand. But as a fan, you got to understand the mush.
I don't think I'm a mush. Did we ever think about that?
You're a mush.
The mush never thinks he's a mush.
That's why you're on a mush.
Right.
This is
would you say that his bad play coincided with you doing an interview?
It did coincide.
Okay. Yes or no?
It did. But that could be circumstantial. He was also at the time. I'll tell you why. Because at the time I interviewed him, he had become all-time leading Russian goalie in wins. He was playing above even his career highs, better than he is even now at the time. So it was bound to,
No, because if I take that same analogy into the Heat, you get mad.
What do you mean?
If I said, listen, they haven't played this well all year. They've been up and down. So if they should happen to go down a little bit, this is what they've done all year. You're like, no, dude, don't do it. No. You would call me off that quickly. Now all of a sudden you using it.
Not fair. It's not fair.
You know why Tobin's so scared right now? Tobin wants to talk to his boy.
I do.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to talk to
I'm
his
flattered.
boy. And not only does he want to talk to his boy, after being told he shouldn't talk to his boy.
I just want to talk to him with no ramifications. And I know that there's going to be ramifications if they don't win the Stanley. Even if they get past this round.
You might have to be taken to court after that.
Even if the Panthers lose in the Stanley Cup, I'll be blamed. It's not fair.
Why would you think they'd be losing?
Have we ever thought of this? If you interview him, maybe you could get the mush off of you. Because then he goes out and has a great game.
What if he just goes and he keeps pucking?
What if he wins that game and then loses the next 2, 3?
Then it should be. I could lift this and end this forever.
But if he loses the game after you interview him, you're the mush for life. Do you want to be labeled mush for life?
It's a very big risk reward hack I'm going up there with.
M4L. That's nasty.
Yeah.
You don't want to be M4L.
What kind of an interview is it? Do you know anything? Do you know yet? Do you know if it's just you or
No.
is
It's the show, right?
I don't know.
You don't even know.
I got to figure it out. I mean, like it just.
Should we wait? Question. Can we curb the mush a little bit if we're all together?
No, because here's the thing: if you guys do this with me, and then he stinks up the joint, you're all the mush.
No.
Yeah.
You know what? We'll go down together.
It's a mush amoeba.
Here's what we do, because if we all do it together, and then he loses, that means your mushiness is contagious. That's all that means.
Yeah, all right.
You spreading it like COVID. We need a 2 week. We need 6 feet. And wear a mask.
Tobin 23.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Take a quick break. Time to get to our favorite Wednesday game, ladies and gentlemen. That's enough of shit. But before that, if you guys want to go to the Hyundai Air and Sea Show, J-Fig, who has just arrived, has parachuted in, like Eric Spoelstra, has parachuted in with a 4-pack of tickets to the Hyundai Air and Sea Show, okay? So, if you guys want to go, call her 4 right now to 305-567-0560. 305-567-0560 gets a 4-pack of tickets to the Hyundai Air and Sea Show, plus U.S. Military Salute Fest this Memorial Day weekend, May 27th and 28th on Miami Beach. The greatest show above earth showcases the men and women and technology and equipment from all 5 branches of the United States military. For more information, visit usasalute.com. But call her 4 right now. We'll get a 4-pack of tickets. Biggie. 4-pack of tickets to the Hyundai Air and Sea Show. Call us up 305-567-0560. Rats Off a Ship is next. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. We're streaming live on YouTube and Twitch, the channel Miami 560 WQAM, live every single weekday, 4 hours, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You guys can also get clips on our YouTube page. Go subscribe there or Twitch, whatever your preference. And, of course, you get in, interact with the show live, get in on the chat, fight each other, fight the texters. Do whatever you want to do. It's like some guy gave us $4 today. I was like, oh, that's nice of that guy. Feel bad.
No, he gave $4.99.
$5 to just tell us Heat and 4. And you know what? Thank you, dude. That's guts right there. That's guts. J-Fig, it's our favorite Wednesday game. What do you got today for Rats of a Sheep?
All right, guys. Get back to my email. Number one. Malcolm Brogdon.
Rats off a ship.
Rats off a ship.
Guy's got a big mouth, and he's going to learn something today. End this series. Malcolm Brogdon. He's the difference. Look how deep we are. Oh, you're so deep. Why does your coach only play 7 guys, dude, if you have so much depth? What happened to Grant Williams? Remember when he was a thing?
Oh,
now all of a sudden they don't play him no more. Big mouth. What about you, Leroy?
I'm rats off a ship.
Rats off a ship.
You were fine until that last little bit of comment.
What?
He was fine with everything he said until he said,
yeah, it's a little too much. A little too much there, Malcolm.
You know what? I remember a story. Every time we played Barry Sanders, we watch film and the defense would watch film, and they would say every year, we play him twice a year. They ain't going to do that to me. He ain't going to shake me like that on national TV. And guess what? Broke ankles.
J-Fig, what about you? Where are your rats with Malcolm Brogdon?
Oh, they're swimming.
Rats off a ship.
Glad?
Don't like it.
Not that I'm on the ship, but if I'm a guest on the ship, I'm throwing them over. How about that?
Good.
I'm throwing them over the ship. That's it. I got what you're saying. Everything was all complimentary every night. Everything was nice, but he pulled a Tobin. That's what I didn't like about Brogdon. He pulled a Tobin to redeem. Tobin, you'll give props. You know how Tobin will never say that he's wrong. Like, you know, when Leroy's trying to say, like, you were wrong, you were down on Kevin Love, and then he's like, but he was playing bad though. But still, I love him. That's what Brogdon pulled. He said everything very complimentary to the Heat, how great of a team they are. They're a physical team, but they won't out physical us, right? That's a Tobin move. And I didn't like that he pulled a Tobin move on your Heat. So therefore, he's got to be thrown.
I don't know if I like this being called a Tobin move.
Tobin,
I don't like
when you're giving love, even when you give props to teams or players, there's also a settled shot with those props that you give.
I feel like I give props where props is due.
Nah, you don't.
What's number 2, J-Fig?
DeVante Adams saying he proved he didn't need Aaron Rodgers last season.
I'm not rats off a ship because he still put up big numbers last year. However, I do think he needs to walk back that whole Derek Carr's a Hall of Famer thing.
Yeah.
That's his boy. That's his boy.
I don't care, dude.
I'm not rats off a ship, and I would hope that if I play with one of my boys, they would speak of me that way also. Right?
Where's Derek Carr? Is he a Saint?
He's a Saint. He's in New Orleans.
But here's the problem. If you had listened more to what he said he basically said, that being said, he thought he was going to play with Aaron Rodgers or Derek Carr. And he has to get his mind right for the decisions that this organization has made.
True.
So if he can't be on the ship, I can't be on the ship.
Fancy not tickled.
Right. Whoa. He's basically saying
his fancy isn't tickled.
He's basically saying, I can play with anybody, but these aren't the guys I thought I was going to be playing with.
Right.
Rats off a ship.
Man, there's a long Jimmy Butler montage they're playing on ESPN.
I've been looking at
Goosey's. I want to know.
Wow, they've heard.
I'm a little
Listen,
shocked right now.
From the beginning of this segment.
Oh, so you can't say you've been slighted?
No, there's no sliding right now. This
I'm
has been
very
like
surprised.
6 minutes long about
Unless it's-
Jimmy's career.
Unless it's Nick Friedel like talking about the Chicago days. That doesn't count.
No, he did. Well, they did start with the Chicago days.
is Nick Friedel. Jimmy, don't you miss the days of Keith Bogans and
Joakim Noah.
Guy loves talking about the Bulls. J-Fig, where are your rats with DeVante Adams?
They're still swimming.
Wow.
I'm rats off.
Sorry,
Rats off a
Devontae.
ship.
Vlad?
Yeah, DeVante sounds like a guy who wants to leave Vegas. I don't know why. I mean, you could have stayed in Green Bay, but you didn't want to stay there. Your boy left. They didn't want him there. So what are you trying to do? You don't like Josh McDaniel?
I think what you should do. Listen, if I were in your position, and I'm not, but if I was in your position, Vlad, this is what I would say.
Make a stink.
Make a stink. Get him to New York.
But you know what? He had
That's what I would say.
He had every opportunity to make a stink, but he really didn't. Because he kind of said, look, this is not the direction I thought we were going to go, but I'm going to have to get used to this new plan. So that means he's going to buy in regardless.
Sounds like a guy that doesn't like his coach. And how you hating on Jimmy G? Jimmy G hasn't even done anything yet.
That's true. But I think the thing is nobody likes that coach. It's just got a look about him. Josh McDaniels.
We had one guy who liked him, DJ.
Who? He liked him, but he also said like that dude got in over his head.
It happens to a lot of first-time coaches.
Hey, Fig, what's number 3?
James Harden throwing shade at Doc Rivers.
That's off a ship. Look, I get it. Doc Rivers has been
That's off a
overrated
ship.
for a while. That being said,
How can you
James
say he's
Harden-
overrated?
Oh, because Doc Rivers gets treated like God's gift to basketball.
Because he's never had a losing record as a coach?
No, it's because he always has these star-studded teams, and then it's always like blowing leads in the playoffs and things like that. Like it's a Doc Rivers thing ever since.
Because if his stars, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
If your star is James Harden, do you have faith in him?
No,
And now you get mad at the coach?
Well, that's why I'm saying I'm rats off a ship, because look, James Harden can't be throwing shade at anybody when he gives you a 3 for 18 in an elimination game. But James Harden needs to look himself in the mirror when it comes to this stuff. Stop subtweeting or stop sub-IGing or throwing shade at Doc Rivers. You throw shade at yourself. Same thing with Joel Embiid. Leroy?
I'm not rats off a ship, but if it were anybody else sending that message, I might have been more on board. But they scored 10 points in a quarter. You can't say nothing. You can't say nothing. I don't care what kind of coach you have. If you have Joel Embiid and you are trying to go to an Eastern Conference final, you can't score, 10 or 13 in a quarter, right? While another guy on the other team scoring 51. No, you can't. They ain't got nothing to do with coaching. Nothing.
J-Fig? James Harden?
I'm still feeling very salty. I am still swimming.
Wow, look at this. You got a little snorkel mask.
I do.
Not off a ship.
What about you, Vlad? James Harden throwing that shade at Doc Rivers.
Yeah, I'm done with James Harden, man. Shave the beard, man.
Oh, snap.
Wow.
That's his identity. I'd be kind of scared to see how he looks like.
He didn't have it in college.
J-Fig, you know
Still.
what? You know what else is his identity?
Losing.
Not coming up big when it matters. Always losing in game 6s and 7s. Having 3-2 leads and then choking.
Partying.
Keep in mind, he was also a part of that 3-1 debacle against Golden State and OKC.
No. He was in Houston by that time. That was Westbrook and Durant by that 3-1.
Was it Westbrook?
That was 16. He was he already left to go to Houston by that time. But he was part of the 3-2 team. The back to 2 consecutive years. Houston had Golden State down 3-2. Had double-digit leads at halftime of these elimination games, and they choke and lose. You know who's behind that? James Harden. You know who else is always behind 3-1, 3-2 losses?
Kevin Durant.
Well, I mean, he's already lost.
Chris Paul.
No, you know what? They all have a lot of linkage with
Doc Rivers.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Connective tissue.
Was
Connective
K-
tissue.
Was
Harden
KD? Wait, was
plus
KD?
Doc Rivers
KD
plus
wasn't
Joel
with
Embiid.
Doc. Oh, KD wasn't with Doc.
But Harden, 6 degrees of Harden. Okay.
Yep.
6 degrees of Harden.
What is number 4, J-Fig?
The Spurs tanking and getting rewarded with Wembanyama.
Oh, she said that nice.
Yeah.
Thanks,
You
I
practiced?
practiced.
Did you practice?
That nice.
I'm not rats off a ship. I feel good that Wembanyama is going to go to Greg Popovich. I feel like, you know what? He deserves a good coach. It feels like he's going to be an awesome player. I like Tony Parker. I'm not like Spurs zealot because obviously there's a Heat Spurs past, but Tony Parker posting the picture today of Wembanyama in the Tony Parker jersey, French connection. That's kind of goosies if I was a Spurs fan, which I am not.
I don't know if
But,
you want that, Tobin.
But no rats off a ship. If anybody's gonna tank for him, I'm glad it's them and not the Pistons. I feel like the Pistons would ruin them.
Don't it always seems like when every time the San Antonio tanks, they get the number 1 pick.
It's fortune has shined down on them very nicely.
The last time they did it, they ended up with Tim Duncan, and the Admiral was out for the whole year, so that's why they could tank, and they ended up with both of them.
Yep, sure did. J-Fig, what about your rats?
I guess I'm not rats off a ship.
Wow, it don't sound sure. Like I feel like you want to jump in.
Well, it's because fine, I'm rats off a ship.
Yeah! Get out of here, Doc Rivers. Popovich.
You know, he was a Spur too. Doc Rivers was a Spur. It's 6 degrees of
6
Doc.
degrees. He's like Kevin Bacon of the NBA. What about you, Vlad? What about your
definitely
rats?
rats off his ship
Rats
on
off
this,
his ship.
man.
Salty?
I'm not even. It's not
Are you
about-
mad, by the way, that the Knicks didn't
by
get
the
a
way,
pick?
Yeah. By the way, I was upset by the league. The league just screwed us. Screw you, Dallas, for not playing Luka.
They really are gutless. I'm so
gutless. But
gutless.
Mark Cuban's been gutless for a long time, but we'll get into that another time.
Yep.
Here's why I'm upset. You said that they showed a picture of, what was it, young Wemby with a
Tony Parker.
With a Tony Parker. That's not good if San Antonio Spurs, gossip and rumors.
Well,
that means you gotta.
It's a long time ago.
Well, he's the franchise player. He's 7'5".
Yeah.
Keep your significant others away from him if he's wearing a Tony Parker jersey. That's all I'm saying.
Are you calling out sneakiness of the French?
Brent Barry? I'm just saying Tony Parker, like he did things when he was married to Eva Longoria, right?
Oh, that's right.
And he was still messing around with, teammates as significant others, Brent Barry. And I just say a guy who's 7'5", he's young, probably give you Tim Duncan vibes. But he's French. Stay away. Make sure he stays away from your significant others.
I don't feel like Rudy Gobert would steal anybody's significant other, though.
No.
I feel like he's like, sensitive type. All right. That's Rats Off a Ship, everybody. Take a break. Get you caught up with your headlines after this.
WQAM brought Can you do it? Can you pop it for me? Pull up in a demon on guard. Looking like I still do fraud. Flying private jet with the rod. It's a Z. It's a Z.
Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy show.
What happened?
There's Tobin.
Yeah.
There you go.
Welcome back, everybody. I liked how you're bringing this in, J Vig. No problem there.
Well, I didn't see you. I had to do something.
You had to. You know, you got to spring into action. What's up?
Honestly, I didn't know we were back, so I sent you that. I'm sorry. It's going to distract you now.
It's going to distract him now for the whole segment, for sure.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's something I would never do. And I got very itchy just watching that video.
Pretty wild.
What is...
But most importantly, did you guys see what Dave South posted?
Yeah, I saw it. I don't like it.
Twitter?
Yeah, he's saying that I saw this on the way to work and somebody's spray painting mush on a light pole, it looks like.
I wonder where that was.
I don't know. I don't like it though.
Sunrise?
Enough already.
Let me see.
Okay. You were not tagged. I got you.
Ridiculous. Let's get into some headlines here. Brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Just
like sunrise.
Just coming across. Speaking of James Harden, who we were making fun of last segment, just coming across the.
Isn't that
the
a better
wire.
way to fish?
I'm so sorry, Tobin.
Why did you do that, J Fig? Now
I didn't know we were back.
I've now lost him until 115. Ridiculous. Anyway,
He just in that water?
Oh
Is that a catfish?
it's gone. The man is gone.
He's done.
He's done. He's not gonna. We got no.
How old is she? 8?
I don't know. That's a lot of questions.
Robert Williams talking heavy trash right now. I'm just making that up, but he's on ESPN right now.
All right, I'm done.
Okay.
It's J-Fig's fault. You can't send me material.
I didn't know we were back. I didn't know what part of the commercial break we were in.
We've been back, and you guys are still hounded on this woman going after the fish
It's not a woman.
or the girl.
So what is she?
I don't know. She's smaller than some of the fish she putting in that little bitty bucket.
That doesn't mean she's not a woman.
That's a girl.
Meanwhile, we talked about James Harden last segment.
What about James, Tobin?
James Harden is apparently going to opt out of his deal. No surprise there.
He wants to go back to Houston, right?
That's been the word, that he wants to go back to Houston. He's seeking a 4-year deal, according to Chris Haynes. And some are even speculating that the Rockets could trade their number 4 pick and try and make an aggressive pursuit for James Harden, get some vets around him. They're tired of the whole rebuilding thing. So that's some of the fodder out there right now. I don't know, man, if I'd give a 4-year deal to James Harden. Like, I love strip clubs.
Hard. It was hard to probably give him a 4-game deal.
Yeah, like,
as evident by the last 4 games he played.
I also just think it's crazy. Like, I know that he had a lot of success with Houston, but man, he really went out on bad terms. Remember the fat suit?
Right. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. I don't necessarily blame an athlete for doing this, although it's not why you compete. He seems like he wants to go somewhere where he can have a soft landing, where he don't have the heat on him. He'll never have the heat in Houston.
Nah, they'll just be happy he's back because it's been terrible basketball for the last 3 years.
Exactly.
You know? But you see this? This is kind of Goosey's. Paul Maurice.
You can't listen. I'm gonna say this for the last time. Don't tell me what's Goosey's. Okay? If you tell me what's Goosey's, I'm gonna immediately fight it.
Hey,
you just play
I'm telling you it's Goosey's.
You play and then ask me, did you get a little Goosey's?
Paul Maurice and the Panthers flying up to Carolina. He goes up to his podium today for his media availability. Look what he's wearing, Leroy. Paul Maurice, Miami Heat shirt. How about that?
That's what you got Goosey's about?
Goosey's, dude. Paul Maurice wearing the Heat jersey?
Hold on. 3 months ago, you were calling him a bum. Now, all of a sudden, he gives
I apologize.
Goosey's?
I apologize.
He
I apologize.
apologized in song.
And then, according to George Richards, remember we were talking to say, oh, do the Panthers, do they care about the Heat? Does hockey care about the, even though Barkov's a huge basketball fan. He said that the entire Panthers team flew up there today for their game wearing Heat shirts as they start their Eastern Conference Finals game tonight. Little hometown, home team love from the Cats to the Heat. That's Goosey's, dude. And may I say, Goosey's galore. Quite frankly, infringing upon Gennady Golovkin territory of Triple G.
That is true.
You don't think that's
no?
Goosey
I
worthy?
just hey, man. You see me nodding my head in approval.
I don't
like,
know
why are you getting all?
You're too far back. You're leaning. We can't see that.
I can't listen. I got a new table. Okay. However, there's a little part for the keyboard. And so I'm farther away. The picture is better because it's level, but like I gotta sit, proper. That kind of sucks.
I hope that Matthew Tkachuk takes a selfie of himself in a Heat shirt and sends it to Jason Tatum. That's what I hope.
Tkachuk?
Yeah.
That'd be messed up.
I think that's great because look at this.
That'd be funny if one of them took the other one's schoolgirl when they were when they were in class together.
Really? Like it goes...
if Tkachuk took Tatum's girl when he was like 7.
7? Damn. Damn,
well,
Vlad.
What?
What do you 7?
What, you never had you never fought with your friend when you were like 7 over a girl?
So like if
but neither one of us ended up with him because we were 7.
I know,
Like
but
if
it
they
would have been funny. If they were like, they got into a fight over little shorties.
Matthew Tkachuk's
unless somebody tried to date Rasputia.
Yeah,
you got a boyfriend? You do now.
Matthew Tkachuk's out here. He's sharing Jello with Cindy Lou Who.
Yeah.
Takes him Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
What's wrong
with Cindy Lou?
Yeah. Cindy Lou Who.
From The
Whoville.
Grinch?
She's one of my favorite singers. So just have to acknowledge that.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, you're right. Nick Friedel is doing the
he follows
Celtics.
Jimmy wherever he goes.
Wait, don't be upset if Jimmy's got a Jimmy follower.
Enough of him already. Let's get somebody new on the case.
You complain about no attention, and now you complain about too much attention.
This Nick
Make up your
Friedel.
damn
No, I'll
mind.
tell you why. This Nick Friedel has followed the Heat the entire playoffs. He's picked against them every time. He picked Bucks in 4. He picked Knicks in 5. Now he's got himself. I think he's picked Celtics in 6. He never picks the Heat. He sits around here. He's just waiting on the Heat's downfall. I'm tired of Nick Friedel.
Maybe he's
Tobes.
the reverse jinx.
Tobes, you know what the great thing about sports is?
What?
Predictions don't matter. You still got to play the game.
All predictions matter, dude.
No, they don't.
Bobby Marks picked the Heat. Sedano picked the Heat.
Sedano! Of course!
JJ
Really?
Redick didn't pick the Heat. I looked this morning. They did that thing on Get Up. Let me look at these picks. I'm taking notes, dude. I am taking notes.
Oh, you know who picked the Heat?
Who?
One Skip Bayless.
Did he really?
Yes, he did.
That's my guy right there.
Oh my
Wish me
God!
a happy birthday.
Dude,
Now he's your guy?
That's my guy
Dude.
right there, Skip
Dude.
Bayless.
You are
Play it, Vlad. Play it. Let's
-1.
see how much he is your guy.
you are the worst.
No. I mean, like, listen, obviously I don't agree with him all the time, but like if he's gonna make a pro Heat take, he's gonna
Don't
make a
do
pro
part
Heat
of it.
take. What do you mean? Hi, Brendan. Hi, Brendan.
It's so creepy.
Hi, Brendan. This is Skip Bayless, the real Skip Bayless, wishing you a happy birthday. Any friend of Joy Taylor's is a friend of mine. I appreciate your support. I hope you have a great birthday, and I do appreciate you hanging in there with me all these years.
You're welcome, buddy. Thanks for picking the Heat.
A happy birthday.
Hi,
Dude,
Brendan.
let me tell you something. Don't let this fraud. Hey, Vlad, J-Fig, don't let this fraud
I'm not.
because here's what happened. We were in Vegas. He dropped me like a sack of potatoes to go run all the way down the strip to say hi to Skip Bayless.
Wow.
Yes.
True.
So
Yes.
you dropped your boy for Skip
Yes.
Bayless?
I went after
Yes.
the show.
Hey,
So wait a minute.
You want to go get some lunch? I'm out.
I'm busy. Gotta go see my boy Skip.
-1.
Wow.
And then he tried to lie.
You left
and say,
your
I'm
boy.
You know what? No,
I'm going to
this
say
is
hi.
not
I'm
the
going to say
first
hi to
time
the
that he
waiter.
has said that he has left Leroy by himself in Vegas.
That was the only
I would
time.
never.
For sass.
Hey, and then he tried to lie and say, I'm going to see Joy.
Especially Skip
So you knew,
Bayless.
he knew he was doing some dirt.
I didn't give a rat's ass about seeing Joy.
Oh, that's horrible. You'd rather go see Skip and Joy. That's -15.
Wow.
Joy was
Yeah,
like,
it's
minus
a
just wanted to beat the goat.
-1.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Now he's a
-1.
goat too.
Hey,
Mark that.
this is what I heard. What time are we off? Right? I reached down to put my computer in my bag, and Tobin's cheeks were going out the door. I said, hey, man, what happened? He said, oh, I got to hurry up and see Joy. They get ready to be off air.
Couldn't even wait for
Couldn't
Leroy.
even wait. No. Oh, he knew I wasn't going over there.
Oddly was standing in the back next to Michael Rappaport and Floyd Mayweather Sr.
That's a weird
It's a
combination. right
weird
there.
combination, dude. By the way, JJ Redick, you also picked the Celtics. You're on notice. Okay. None of this fugazi. Oh, Spo's a genius. No, enough of you, JJ Redick. Okay.
Why do
You
you care
fraud.
so much about predictions?
I'm just keeping notes, dude. I made my prediction.
You can
Have I
keep-
made my prediction? I'll give you my
No.
prediction. You want my prediction?
Yeah.
No, he ain't going to do it now. Then why
He
you
gonna
think-
ask the
don't
whole
play a
world
stupid
before he
game.
gets
I
his
will
prediction.
play.
play a
I'm gonna
stupid
give
game.
it. I
No,
swear to
don't
God.
play
I
a
swear to God.
stupid
Let's just
game.
give it to you right now.
No, you're not.
I
Go.
swear to God. I swear to God.
Let me
Do it.
guess. Let me guess. Heat 5.
Oh, he said Heat and 6.
I'm picking Heat and 6.
No, he's
He's actually said his prediction early in the show.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did say Heat and 6.
Heat and 6. I think that they split. They keep home court advantage. They win that game 6. Moving on this time, Leroy.
See, I think here's what I would like to see, and here's what I think I will see. Miami will break them. Right? When you go into a series with Miami, you have to be ready to play 17 different types of games. Whether it's 90 to 88, whether it's 120 to 125. The Heat have proven that they can win any of those type of games. They just grind it out. A lot of other teams that they play against, when in these situations, in these playoff situations, get frustrated because they're not winning a certain way and end up losing. So that's what I'm going to wait to see, that if this game doesn't start out with Boston making a whole bunch of threes, can they grind it out? Because it could get to a point where nobody going to care what Tatum does in the fourth quarter.
I'm thinking that there'll be games where Boston, obviously, they have a ton of shooting talent. Everybody on that team, other than basically Time Lord, can shoot. The other 6
Time
guys,
Lord.
Robert Williams.
Oh.
Everybody else, the other 6 guys who actually play, they all can shoot. But I'm with you. Like, what if there's one of those games where it's a little off? Can they grind it out? I don't know.
Look, if the Heat not making shots, it's no big deal to them. They just accept it as this is the game we got to play today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I think that they need to shoot better than they did against the Knicks series, but I don't think this is going to be as physical a series as the Knicks series was. I think the Knicks series was going to be a lot of bludgeoning, a lot of loose balls. I do think there's going to be a little bit more finesse. So there will be some games where the offense needs to look a little bit smoother, but we saw them in the Bucks series. Like, I just feel like their ability to win in so many different ways.
Right.
Miami has shown so far this postseason. If they don't shoot, they grind it out. If they need to shoot, they shoot. If they need to lock up, if they need a Jim VP performance, they get a Jim VP performance. If they need a big Bam performance, Bam shows up. They've just shown so many different types of ways to win. And I feel like Boston, they showed some will and guts in that game 6, but also you had 2 of the worst choking dogs I've ever seen in my life. Like, you were also buoyed to that series win also.
You know who you're explaining? You just explained the Boston Celtics as front runners.
Yep.
The definition of a front runner is you can only play well when the going's good.
Right.
Well, I mean, you can't say that if they won game 6.
They won game 6, but here's the thing. I also felt like they were given game 6 because look at those bums they went against. Look at them. Look at them.
You gotta play who you're in front of, though.
Two bums, dude.
Let me ask you
bums.
this. Let me ask you this. if the Heat are faced with that same scenario, is Jimmy Butler gonna come up small?
No way. No way.
You see what I'm saying?
We already saw it last year. They were down 3-2.
They had two MVPs, and they threw up a 10 or 13 spot in a quarter.
Jimmy Butler
Come
last
on,
year
Vlad.
down 3-2. Jimmy
Two
Butler
MVPs?
walked into that building with kerosene and lit that place on fire. That's what he does.
I'll be interested to see how does Boston play a game that's 80-85, right? Because the thing with the Knicks, both teams went into that series thinking the other team wasn't going to be able to shoot the three because they hadn't done it consistently. The Heat did a little bit better in the playoffs, but the Knicks are not known as a three-point shooting team.
No.
So you knew beforehand that's what that series was going to be, that there were points during the series where it was just going to be a rock fight.
But the Bucks are. The Bucks,
right.
The Bucks
no,
are
that's what I'm
loaded up.
saying. The Bucks are. I just think look, the one thing, if you want to feel good about the Heat, is here's what you feel good about. The sign of a good team is a team that can win in a number of ways. Right? Which is what we've talked about with Golden State for years. That they can't win games if Steph ain't making threes or the Splash Brothers ain't making threes. They can't squeeze one of those games out to where it's a rock fight. They can only play one way. Now, they've been excellent at it and they've won championships doing it. But whenever they failed them, it's been based on not being able to shoot the ball well. The Heat, when the Heat are shooting the ball well, it's a bonus because they don't run offense. And their game plan is not always predicated on whether they make the three, because they have other ways which they can get the ball in the basket. That being said, because the only guy that I'm afraid of if they're not making threes is Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is the only player that will consistently go to the hoop.
He will, but
he can't dribble.
He can get a little loose with that dribble, and
he can't dribble. He can't dribble.
That's a disaster. I mean, they blew that game one in that series last year because they just could not. The Heat just kept taking the basketball from them, and they get on those types of runs. Dangerous game for them, man.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So what if it's one of those games where, okay, we're gonna lock your guys down? Then what?
Is
right?
this a series where you miss Tyler and Vic?
No, because you missed the depth.
Play a factor.
You missed the depth. But here's what was lost and here's what was gained. Right? You may have lost some scoring and some ability to do certain things, but the guys that replaced those guys were better defensively, other than Tyler. Better than Tyler. I won't go there as far as saying that with Vic.
Yeah, you're going to have to. Losing Vic, I think, would be a thing from last series. I think, honestly, we're going to see. Don't be surprised if we see a little bit of Haywood Highsmith, because that dude was on Jason Tatum in games this year. Did a great job on him, too.
Right.
So, as long as, and we've seen like he had some of those moments in the Bucks series, too, as long as he doesn't get petrified when he gets the basketball, which he did at times. But like his main thing is you're going to throw some bodies at Jalen and Jason. And, to get down to that, eventually get to that crunch time where, if you need Bam on them in a possession or if you need Jimmy on them, like they didn't spend all game wearing themselves down. So I think that's why you'll see a bit of Haywood Highsmith, which is, again, goes back to the whole depth thing is like, I do think Spo is going to trust playing up to 10 guys in this series, where I don't think Joe Mazzulla does. And I think that's gonna be an interesting thing as the series wears on with minutes, with all that stuff. To see how all pans out, because it's every other day. There's not a lot of rest between these games. And we'll be interested to see how Jimmy comes out. How does he look with that, with having 4 days off? How does the ankle look? He's been doing his late night workouts. So I don't know. It seems like it's go time, man. I'm excited for it. We'll take a quick break. Tip off tonight, 8:30, 7 o'clock preheat special time with Alejandro Solana. Back with more after this.
WQAM broadcast.
back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. You guys can text the show 305-567-0560. Day 3, by the way, Richie and Borza not calling in after the Knicks series loss.
Did he really not?
MIA. Haven't seen him. It's okay. He doesn't have to say anything.
No, Richie wouldn't do that.
He doesn't
Richie's
have to say anything. Well, then I hope he's okay.
Yeah,
I hope
I'm more concerned about his welfare.
maybe he's busy just tearing down posters of Julius Randle. Tough to know. Hard to say. Meanwhile, I just want to say to everybody, once again, I'm not going to bring this up ever again. Okay, I promise this is going to be the last time I bring this up.
That's a lie.
Swear to God, it's the last time I bring it up because I'm not banning it. There's been a lot of fan policing out here. A lot of people who are telling Heat fans you can't celebrate, but a lot of people didn't have faith like old Tobes. Okay, that's okay. I understand. It was a very frustrating year. A lot of close losses, very uneven. Eric Spoelstra described it this week. You know what he described it as, Leroy? He described it as basketball hell. That's what he described it at this year, at points this year. So even the coach knew that there were some low points. So I'm not banning anybody from celebrating. However, I do want for one more day, as you go into this Eastern Conference Finals tonight, I want you to reflect on the idea that you wanted to play for ping pong balls and wanted them to tank for ping pong balls for a 0.5 chance because those Pelicans didn't move up one spot. And I just want you to realize how stupid it was to think about, man, we should have tanked for that 0.5% chance that maybe if an asteroid hits Earth and I get bit by a shark while struck by lightning, we'll also get Victor Wembanyama. I want you to just have a few moments of silent shame today. Think about that. I just want you to think how dumb it was. And I'm never going to bring it up again. Okay, I promise. Never again, Leroy. Now celebrate tonight after the Heat kick the Celtics' ass and take home court advantage like that. That's what they do. They snatch that home court advantage. But just think about that when you're like, man, I watched that draft lottery last night. I really rooted for 0.5% chance, and the Pelicans, they didn't move one spot. Dummies. Let me hear a little from my guy, Low Dog, Kyle Lowry, who, I don't know if you saw this, Leroy, but him and Jimmy Buckets getting a little pre-shoot-around work in today at the Garden. And little goosies, they're all sitting there. JV, you got this from Jimmy's Instagram this morning? Jimmy's posting him and Low Dog looking upon that hellhole that is the TD Garden. Hate that place. Looks like a couple of chaps ready to take home court advantage. That's what it looks like to me. You know what they're doing, Leroy?
Yes.
When you got your feet out, like Jimmy Butler's got his feet out right now, that's making yourself at home. That's what that's doing right now. That's basically like going into somebody else's living room and putting your feet on their coffee table. That's what Jimmy Butler's doing. Just so we're clear. All right, Boston. Okay. All right, Malcolm Brogdon. Let's hear from a real champion point guard, Low Dog, and says that, listen, the Heat have been through a lot. They're good. They are good because they know they've been through adversity.
No, I think we had a really good team that's level already. Honestly, we got guys that are undrafted, two-way guys turned into, contract guys, champions, gold medalists. You got guys who's just been in these situations and nothing's been given to them, so they always just find a way.
I'm telling you, people haven't come around yet, but this has the feel of that early 2000 Detroit, the Detroit Pistons team.
2004? No, they have a superstar.
Yeah, with Chauncey.
No, Jimmy is a superstar. Chauncey.
No, I know. No, but that's what I'm saying. But when you look at all the other pieces, right? I'm not taking away anything from any of them. But when you look at this team, you can't appreciate what they do on the basketball court because you don't see all the stars other than Jimmy and Bam.
Speaking of superstars, this is Kyle Lowry on what makes Jimmy so special this time of year.
Because it's the most competitive time of the year. And as a competitor, he's one of those guys who competes at literally everything. Cards, like Uno games, phase 10, whatever they game to play. He's just the ultimate competitor. And having a guy like that on your team, you feel good about every situation you're going to be in. And he just he brings the best out of himself in these moments.
I can't wait. Oh. I'm revved up for this one, man. This has been fun. Beat the Bucks,
Goosey's
beat the
galore.
Knicks, and now get a chance to make the Celtics fans sad. Woo! Dude, Leroy.
Yes.
Panthers taking out the Bruins and the Heat taking out the Celtics in one playoffs.
Dolphins beat the Patriots too this season.
You know what we call this?
What?
This is their comeuppance. As Robbie the Degenerate would say, for Boston, the bill is due.
Oh yeah.
The bill is due. Your decade of dominance is over.
But they haven't been dominant in basketball.
Not in basketball. Not in basketball, but
Or
everything
in
else.
hockey.
Hagen championships. Idiots.
The only thing they've won is football.
They haven't won
No,
in
they
4
won
or
World
5
Series.
years.
They won World Series.
And I think the Bruins snuck a Stanley Cup in there.
I don't know about that.
I think they did.
It's been, I think, a decade for the Bruins.
Yeah, I think the Bruins won the same year as the Sox won.
I am
For
ready.
The Patriots. They won it.
I'm ready for that sad town to be so sad. And Malcolm Brogdon. Big mistake, buddy. Hey.
Now, don't have him come out and shoot and go and score 30 off the bench.
No, dude. Listen, he just didn't realize he walked into the produce section and Gabe Vincent's about to make him say pineapple.
All right, so Bruins last title was 2011. Celtics last title was 2008. Patriots was 2018, I believe.
Ugh,
and the Red Sox, I think, is 2017.
Bums.
That's a lot of championships in one area.
Noxious ass area. Speaking of obnoxious, I want to get to this coming on up. We got to ban something on this station. That's next.
Besides you talking about
talk shows, and the games of your favorite teams. And just to say it again, it's free. Ka-ching.
And the winner is Hove, my man. Speech. First of all,
welcome back. You guys like boats? JFig, you like boats?
Love them. Can't live without them here in Miami.
Well, you can be on your way to the SoFlo Boat Show. Just go to WQM.com, sign up on the RSVP list. We got 200 tickets. They're going fast, man. So get on over there, register for the SoFlo Boat Show, which is going to be at the iconic Miami Marine Stadium this weekend. Head on over there and check that on out. Leroy, something's been really annoying me lately. Well, this has been annoying me for a while, and it's the CBS Sports Minute. We play these on our station, right? Because we're a CBS affiliate. And it's normally like Boomer Esiason, and he's like, this guy, blah, 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 shut up and play. Or he'll be like, you know, LeBron James, great player, but what about his relationship with China? CBS Sports. And it's like always just some ridiculous take. But, you know, as a CBS Sports, maybe they could have a little respect for the hockey capital of the world right now, because I heard this bastard come up on, I think it was right after our show on Monday, and listen to this joker and what he had to say about the Cats in the Eastern Conference Finals.
This is Andrew Bogish with a CBS Sports Minute. As much as I love hockey's postseason, it doesn't always do the sport huge favors. The NHL lost its best player last night when Connor McDavid's Oilers dropped Game 6 at home to Vegas. That means Canada isn't winning the Cup again. The record-setting Bruins are long gone, as are the New York and LA markets. Enjoy that Hurricanes-Panthers Eastern Conference Final. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Dude, I want Galen to ban these CBS Sports Minutes. I'm done with them. Andrew, what the hell is it? Andrew Bogus? That's what his name is? Get this guy the hell out of. Oh, enjoy that Panthers Hurricane. You know what? We will, Andrew. Actually, we will, dude. Hey, let me ask you something, Andrew. Name 5 Oilers. I dare you.
It's like he was throwing us to the floor.
I dare you, dude.
Leon Dressel?
Get the hell out of here. Oh, over the New York and LA markets. Me.
The great thing about sports is I don't care how famous you are, you still got to win the game.
This guy, you know, the
Like,
arrogance.
Who cares?
We're out here. We're making.
Did Shaq win every year?
No.
Okay.
Are we gonna start pulling the Giannis? Is that Giannis post game comments now? That's what we're gonna use now. Does everybody win every year? Nobody wins.
You think it's good for the game of hockey? Yeah, actually, I think it is. You know what? We got a big fan base down here that's pretty pumped up for the Panthers. And this guy wants to sit here and talk about the poor Toronto. Listen, those idiots up in Toronto, they're going to root for that team no matter what. They've been sucking for decades. They're not going to stop.
In hockey, unlike any other professional sport, it's no shocker to see the lower seed win. Because hockey is just that sport. You know, that's kind of how it goes. So you probably should acknowledge that as your whatever they call it, and say, unlike any other sport, just because you had a great year, it's no guarantee that you're going to advance in the Stanley Cup playoffs. However, why wouldn't he just mention, look at what happened to the Panthers last year? Right? Because he wasn't making a big deal about it when they lost and they won the President's Cup.
Let me tell you something. The hockey's growth has been absolutely fine. Tampa Bay has been winning a lot of Stanley Cups. We've been okay. Nashville's going to Stanley Cups. Like there's been non-traditional markets.
Vegas is a hotbed
going
for
to Stanley Cups. Hockey has been doing just fine, expanding all over us. I know that the Coyotes are going through something right now. They may lose their team, but there's been shenanigans going on with the Coyotes forever. All right, you can't fix everybody. And this guy wants to sit here and poor Canada. What? Get out of here! Enough of this Canada. Stop feeling sorry for Canada. Enough of them. You want to know something about Canada?
Wait. Hold on.
Tobin's just turning.
You can't get mad at a country because somebody spoke for them. That might not be their sentiments at all.
Well, I know it's not because a Canadian would never be that rude. But except for the Leafs fans, they were kind of jerks. But either way, this guy wants to get out here. Ooh, Canada's not gonna look. Guess what? You want to know where all the Canadians are coming here? Andrew Bogus, down here, dude. This is where they all live, and you want to feel bad for them. Ridiculous. Sick of him.
Are you done, Mush?
What is it? What do you mean, Mush?
Because you're just hosing down everybody.
I don't like the fact that the CBS Sports
Minute. We have 7 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
Have we made a decision on how we're going to handle this?
I mean, no. I mean, I thought you guys basically ended it by saying you're allowed to talk to Bobby, not the mush.
Nobody said that.
I think that's kind of what you guys
no,
said.
there's no kind of.
That's not.
I don't think those exact words came out of our mouths.
I think that's what was
Here's
said.
How
the
do you go from
problem.
kind of to think to pretty sure? You're really
Pretty
elevating.
sure. I mean, I
the
don't remember
levels.
the exact sentiments of that segment.
Here,
but I'm pretty sure.
Let's read.
Look at where his intentions lie.
See, this is why you have this conversation before you get off the air, because I know this dude, right? And you can't have this conversation after the mush already goes and talks to Bob.
Mm-hmm.
We all need to come into agreement. We will take our suggestions over to Lynn, and we will act accordingly.
I'm texting Len.
So here's the deal.
Well, you guys aren't really. You're just saying a lot
hold
of words mean words. Like, tell me what I got. What am I allowed to do? Are you guys considering me the mush? If I'm off mush, I just want it to be said. If I'm allowed to speak to Sergei Bobrovsky,
Tuesday.
No, I want it to be said. If I am allowed to speak with Sergei Bobrovsky, I want him. I'm like a criminal trying to get a plea deal. If I am allowed, I do not want to be called a mush. I do not want to be declared a mush. I am not responsible for any mushness going forward because this was not my idea.
So
is
that's
Len
why
there? Is Len there?
We talked to him on Tuesday.
What does that have to do with anything?
3 games. That's what it has to do with.
Does it 3 games?
Yeah, if you talk to him Tuesday, Thursday's game 1, game 2 Saturday.
And what does
game
the series
3
have
Monday.
to be? What if it's 1-2 Canes?
That's okay. It's not on you.
Yeah, you have to talk to him after Tuesday. Because you talk to him Monday right before game 3 and they lose.
Hmm?
It's on you.
Right. So you got
Dade
to
South says no exceptions. Banned means banned.
Yeah, but Dade South, you don't work the job we work.
Yeah, that's a tough one. When the
Right.
actual people are telling you, we would love to have you on. We would like to have our play on the show.
Here's the deal. I'm trying to cover all our bases here. Okay.
I feel no.
I
Here's what
would like though, if we can all be in agreement and Tobin just don't go and do Tobin.
You got to be there, Leroy. You have to be there.
Here's the deal. Every time you've interviewed Bob, we've come into work the next day and it was an interview at the end of the show. And we didn't even know. You didn't even tell us. Right? So we need to all be in we can take some of that mushiness off of you. If we all agree to an interview.
Yeah,
today.
but you're not gonna. Here's the thing, though. You're
No, I'm
doing
not.
this.
No,
I'm gonna tell you right now.
no.
You're gonna put this in a no loose. I know exactly how this is gonna go. All right, you're because you're a finagler. You're a wiggler.
I'm not.
You're
the wiggler.
No, you're a wiggler, and I know exactly how this is gonna go. If the Cats win, you're gonna take all Bob credit. If the Cats lose, you're gonna put the mush on Tobin. I know exactly how this is.
But there's gonna be 3 games played.
Who knows? You'll find a way. I know what you got in your holster.
Why? Wait, are you accusing me of throwing you under the bus regardless? Win or lose is gonna all be on you.
With Bobrovsky, yes.
That's what he does, Bam. That's what he does.
You're lashing out. I know what you got in your
You're
holster.
lashing out. You called him a wiggler.
kind of like you threw me under the bus with Bam.
He called you out. That's not on me.
Wait. We didn't need you co-signing.
No -1 here.
We didn't need you co-signing. You couldn't wait to be wrapped off my ship to go head on and get on Bam's little boat.
No -1 here.
Is this not an accurate assessment? I wasn't even there to defend myself.
Yeah, but he said that he heard you be devil's advocate. That's not on me. It's not my fault that people are listening.
You don't have his back.
Did you have to go? That's what he does, Bam.
This is what he does, though. He was rooting for Marcus Smart to win Defensive Player of the Year.
No, I wasn't.
You don't do that to your boy.
That's not what I did.
He was right, though.
I was trying, when he won it, I was trying to find out, okay, let's discuss how he won it. That's it. That's not saying that I was picking him.
He took it how he took it. I don't understand it. I'm not responsible for your words.
Co-sign that!
He felt how he felt anyway.
I'm your boy.
You are my boy.
You could not wait. You just went straight. That's what he does, man.
This is what you're going to do with Bobrovsky, too, though. I know you are.
No, I'm not.
I'm
trying. Listen.
What if Bobrovsky gets on here? Hold on.
Here's the deal.
What if Sergei gets on here and he says, "Oh, Leroy, one who calls me 4-goal Bob, eh?" And I'm going to be like, that's what he does, Sergei.
No,
that's what he does, Bob.
I'm going to say no. You named yourself that by giving up 4 goals a game.
Wow. You would do that to our guest?
Yeah.
Wow.
If he going to come at me like that, I'm like, I didn't name you 4-goal Bob. You named you 4-goal Bob.
You named him 4-goal Bob.
He named himself 4-goal Bob by giving up 4 goals every game.
No, you call you basically throw up the old foresky every time and you were betting Panthers overs. You were buying lunches for a whole season on Panthers overs.
Hey, Vlad, bought lunch for a year. Them overs were hitting so much.
It was a train.
It was, hey, Vlad.
You guys are not helping each other here, by the way.
Vlad, it probably ended up being 2,500 to the plus.
Jeez.
Right.
That's a lot of winning.
He wondered why I call him 4-goal Bob. I could count on it. Book it. Book it. They may win 7-4.
So, J-Fig, are we going to interview Bob? Like, are they going to interview Bob? Like,
Tuesday.
That needs to be
What's
answered.
going on?
Tuesday.
Can we talk to Len and see if Tuesday is acceptable?
I mean, I got to reach out. I'm the one who's coordinating it, not
No.
Reach out and see when is the latest you can
Let
talk to
Len.
him.
They went to Len first. They didn't go to you, Tobin. They went to Len. Then Len brought
There's
it
nothing
to
with
you.
booking an interview that's gonna jinx anything.
You're a jinx.
No,
I'm not a jinx, dude. I'm not a jinx.
Yes.
I'm giving you a way out. Here's the way out. If they play 3 games, right?
And they're
depending
3-0?
on where those 3 games are, they've already entered the series far enough where you can't mush the situation.
It's ridiculous.
No, he has a point. The series already started.
Well,
I'm trying to listen. It's hard juggling what I'm trying to juggle. I'm trying to juggle the mush with obligations.
That's a lot of
You're
juggling.
not trying to
That's
juggle
a lot
anything.
of juggling.
You're setting me up. You're
Especially
setting me up.
because here's the deal.
No, I know exactly what
The
you're doing.
mush, it's like
You're
I'm trying
set up
to,
no matter what.
It's like I'm trying to balance a medicine ball with a grape. So the
I'm in a
mush
no-win
is
situation
real
here.
heavy, and so it's hard to get a proper toss.
I know exactly what this is. I'm in a no-win situation here. You either get Bob credit for good vibes, or you're gonna call me the Panthers mush, and I don't like that. I know you're setting me up as a
3 games
show
are going to
bit.
be played before we interview.
And what? And so what if it's 2-1 or 1-2? What does that mean?
Nothing. That's because you had nothing to do with it. That's where I'm trying to get to. If you interview him before the first game and it's 1-2, then I can call you the mush. But if you do it after the 3rd game, I can't say it's on you.
All right, we got to get out of here. Talk to you guys tomorrow.
Listen to WQAM for Cat Talk.